wrestling event before?
I have, dude. I've been to a live taping of Monday Night Raw, right? Monday Night Raw, and I went to one of them that came here a long time ago to the Valley, and back in the early 2000s.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It was real crazy. We were in San Antonio, and I got to see Lita Amy Dumas. Right, she was like one of my favorites. I think she's so hot, and she's doing a commentary. You know how they used to put the table for commentary on the exit or on the entrance?
Oh yeah.
Everybody quiets down because they're like, all right, everybody, we're gonna do a taping real quick. So everybody hush hush. We're gonna, do the intro and everybody quieted down. And I just yelled out, "I love you, Lita." She just turned around and gave me a thumbs up. It was dope, bro. Dude, I think I told you I saw Chris Benoit also. Previous situation.
Repping the shirt today.
Yeah, I saw him in Corpus Christi a while back. That was crazy too. Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, I felt nervous. Let's get it, boys. Let's get it. We're coming into this. See, I got some wrestling background. What is up? Welcome back. It is Sunday night. You're here with the Average Boys podcast. It's your boy Crispy. And as you see, I'm here with Brian D, my legendary brother. Man, I feel like I have not seen you in so long. Brian, it's good to see you.
It's always good to be seen. Always good to be seen, sir.
And as you guys see, we have a guest here. It's not Trigger. It's not Michael Betancourt. Shout out to Michael Betancourt. Still in the hospital.
Shout out.
We hope you're good.
Rest up.
It's not David. It is Eddie Garza of Combat Cult, one of the local wrestling scenes, biggest wrestling scene in the Valley, probably the most well-known and popular. Eddie, what is up, dude? Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us, dude.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
What's going on? What's going on? Brian, real quick, let me catch up with Brian. Brian, what's been going on with you, man? I feel like I haven't seen you in fucking so long already. I already said
yeah, already. Just
already started.
Already. You must really mean it. Honestly, nothing. I don't have anything to say. Everything's good. Everything is perfect. Going according to plan. So just ready to, sit here and talk some nerd shit with my boys and talk some wrestling shit. Like we don't really get to talk wrestling much on this channel unless I just go, rogue and just start talking about it. But
it's sometimes like when we ask, right? Like I'll have to be like specific and be like, hey, there was some wrestling thing that happened, and you're like, no, Chris, it's only Wrestle fucking Mania, dude. And I'll be like, yeah, super exciting at the YMCA or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like I'm always like super laid back, but I do have some kind of little knowledge in wrestling. I know about the whole Rhea Ripley situation and Dominique, and that story's fun. I got to meet, like I was saying earlier in the thing, a long time ago, Corpus Christi at the amphitheater that they used to have right there off the shore. They used to have shows, and it was like the size of a basketball court. And there I got to meet Kane, Rey Mysterio, Arn Anderson, Chris Benoit, almost like the Four Horsemen, the old school. Yeah, Chris Benoit. Yeah, and I even have a picture of him like flipping me off because I had yelled out the Four Horsemen and they had already because that was what WCW.
WCW time.
Yeah. So when I screamed out Four Horsemen, I guess he wasn't very happy about it, but it was cool. It was cool, and I used to be a big Chris Benoit fan, before all the situation happened in his life and the drama and stuff like that. And I know you guys will have to explain all of that stuff to me because I know like some stuff has come out like within years after that where it was like a big like a drama thing where they were trying to say like that it wasn't as supposed to be as it was or whatnot. So you guys would have to fill me in on that. But yeah, I do got some wrestling background, man. Am I about it? Not as much anymore, but the Rhea Ripley story is pretty cool. I like Dominique, dude. Dominique is such an interesting fellow, man. Like, okay, let me ask you guys, as true to the heart, like you guys are like, it's embedded in your fingernails, right? Dominique Mysterio, yay or nay? Is he good or bad?
He's got to eat.
He's
got to eat.
He's got to
eat, man. That man can't say a word without getting booed.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's a really great heel, right? That's what you call like the bad guys in the wrestling world.
Heel.
But like, how do you guys think about his upcomings? Like with him, being part of the WWE, starting off as like the small wrestling type, and now being part of like the bigger arcing stories, to where he's kind of created this whole like culture around himself. right? Like everybody hates him. You know, you can't, like you said, you can't go anywhere without people booing him.
Yeah.
But the kids love him. People just enjoy his company, and of course, all the other wrestlers like they like him and stuff like that. What do you guys think about him as a legacy person coming into the world? You know, Rey Mysterio's son. Is he kind of holding his own in the world? We got Trigger here, man. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Shut up, dude. Oh my god.
All right, so what's up, boys? So what's up? So what do you guys think? So Brian, Eddie, who do you want to go first?
Brian, you go first.
Okay. D, what's going on, brother? You should be here. Honestly, unless it has a storyline to do with Rey Mysterio, I couldn't care less, to be honest with you. He's not a great in-ring performer, although I've never wrestled a day in my life, so who am I to talk? But I can take it or leave it. I think his last tag team match with JD McDonough, that was one of his better matches, to be honest with you. And that's really all I got to say about it. I don't look forward to any match. He's good for storylines. I think the way that they use him when it comes to the Rhea Ripley and that storyline, that was pretty good. But other than that, I don't look forward to him at all. He doesn't move the needle for me.
Okay. Eddie, what about you? Trigger. This is Eddie Garza of Combat Cult. He is one of the top wrestling promoters, organizers, guy that sets it all up, guy that does all the promotion for his promotion, and it's good. Got a match coming up March 2nd. We have him on the show today. He's going to be talking wrestling and some nerd shit.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Yeah, dude. I know I've caught like one or two. Pro wrestling was just like never my shtick. And like that, I mean, obviously nothing against the sport, I highly respect the sport, dude. I mean, what you guys go through is fucking brutal sometimes.
Yeah.
Even though people are like, well, it's scripted, right? It's not real. It ain't fake though, dude. I mean, watching it is entertaining. It's always gonna be entertaining, right?
Let me tell you something, man. Like, you can watch it on TV, and that's great. Like, I feel like watching. I mean, I've watched pro wrestling all my life, right, on TV. But when you go to a live event, it's just like a whole different experience. It's like
vibe, dude. It feels
dude, you become like feral about it. You're like, fuck yeah, fuck that guy up, bro.
It's crazy, man. I've sat next to some crazy motherfuckers before, and they'll. Can I cuss on here? I don't even know if I can do that.
Yeah, fuck yeah, you can cuss. Fuck no, we don't cuss on here. What are you talking about?
No, you can't cuss.
Fuck no, we don't cuss here. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Eddie, man. You cuss all you want, man.
Oh, okay, good. No, but I've sat next to some crazy people, bro. Like, I went to a Monday Night Raw, and somebody was just like, "Fuck you, Sheamus. Fuck you." Like, you wouldn't say that to his face, man. You would not.
You're real crazy, right?
But
ginger ass bitch, you won't do shit.
But it's just fun being, at a live show, and when you get to like a indie show like ours, it's a little bit more intimate. Obviously, we're not in a huge stadium. We don't have thousands of people there, but it's a lot more intimate. You can interact with the wrestlers a lot more, and they'll interact a lot more with you too. Mm-hmm. So and I tell a lot of people, I mean, you sit there, you watch TV, and you're yelling at the TV, but they're never gonna yell back at you. You go to an indie show, you're probably gonna get addressed, and it's just fun. It's all fun.
Yeah, I love indie shows. They're definitely the best. The last time I went to go check you guys out, when I went down there, I went with D to a Mission Pro show out there in Houston, and that was a lot of fun. But we have a lot of indie shows out here in Jersey, and I go as much as I can. A really good friend of mine is a wrestler, so we go as much as we can. And yeah, like you said, Eddie, there's just nothing like an indie show at all.
No.
So I do want to ask, man, and because I've caught quite a few of these shows, right? And a couple of them while I was in the military, and then one while I was here. How do you feel about midget wrestling?
Wait, is that the proper term?
Yeah, I think they use the term micro wrestling.
Micro wrestling.
Yeah, some will say midget too, but to be more politically correct, it's micro.
Yeah, it's because like either way, I still saw people say midget wrestling, right?
Whatever, dude. I love how Brian's just like.
Brian's like, God damn it, Chris. It trips me out. It's because it's
oddly enough, I get requested to book, micro wrestling, and even by like people who book us to be there, And I do tell them, like, you realize I've been, because I've contacted a bunch of them. You know, I've contacted Try to Book, and you know, they're pretty pricey. And when I tell like these people,
oh yeah, man, those guys are a huge fucking draw.
It's crazy, bro. You'd imagine
Yeah,
it.
Dude, they are a
half
huge
price.
draw.
They are not.
They are not.
No.
Brian, did you like that, Brian? Did you like that?
What happened?
You'd imagine that it would be half price.
I got it.
Maybe even a quarter.
Fuck up.
You guys are good today. You guys are good today.
Is the ring smaller?
What's that?
Is the ring smaller? I think they do, like, right? They do a smaller ring, right?
Like, I have
the size of a swimming pool.
16.
It would be fucking funny if it was
it's a kiddie pool.
It's a kiddie pool, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
That's a different type of wrestling.
They just bring one of those, like, what is it?
I'm wrestling too.
They bring one of the play school, like, pins, the little houses and shit. They let them fight in it and stuff.
Oh my god.
Derpy, Derpy, I don't want you to go anywhere because that's going to be a very big talking point tonight. So just
we're gonna talk a lot about it, man. We're gonna talk a lot about it for sure. For sure.
Derpy, we know your ass ain't going anywhere anyway.
Yeah, you're with us, boy. You're with us.
Facts.
But for sure, like it would be nice, man. I mean, I know that there's a traveling show that's been going around that's been hitting it for a minute, and they've been doing a lot of good shit. I see them in like San Antonio and Austin a lot.
They hit Harlingen and Alamo down here in South Texas. So I mean,
I think it was a Harlingen, or I think it was Alamo or Harlingen show that I had caught with the staff of one of the bars that I was running, and we were like,
it goes nuts, man. I have some boys in Ohio that caught one, and they sent me some videos, dude. They go crazy.
They go hard,
bro.
They go hard, man. A lot of those guys are really, really talented. Yeah, I mean, of course, like for years, you have the Triple A guys in Mexico, who have like the little nanito wrestlers that come out with them, and those guys, like I remember, the guy that dresses like a ninja, right? He always has the red bandana. He has like the white kind of like ninja mask. He's all black. Ortegon, right? Ortegon. He used to have a little version of himself, and I always thought it was like a 12-year-old kid because that fucking dude, like, he could move, bro. Like, you know, like there's a lot of people that are little people, small guys or whatever that, you know, they have like the body dysmorphia, like their knees are kind of like to the outside, or like, you know, there's always like some type of like body problems, right? But this dude looked like a little 12. He was fucking people up, doing flips and all that shit. And I was like, this guy's on crack or something, man. I like those guys. They move super fast. They do a bunch of crazy shit. You could throw them in your pocket and take off and just let them go at Walmart and shit. It'd be dope. But yeah, going way back to what we were talking about. I didn't get your answer for the Dominique story, right? For the Dominique question, right?
Dom, yeah, big Dom, dirty Dom. From a business standpoint, he's money, man. He's money. I do kind of agree with Brian on the in-ring stuff. Like, he could use a little work, especially being the son of a legend, you know. And again, who am I to say it, right? Because I've never wrestled a day in my life either, right? But I'd like to see, you know, a little bit more out of him. And maybe it's just, you know, smart wrestling. He doesn't get injured very much, or I don't know. But I definitely think he could do a lot more in the ring. Character-wise, I feel like they're doing a lot of what they did with Eddie Guerrero back in the day. People just seem to like not like him for whatever reason. I don't know if it's like the nepotism type thing, or because for a while I was like, there's a little nepotism over here going on, but I feel like he's proven himself a little while. You know, he's done pretty good in the ring, and I enjoy seeing some of the stuff he does. And I guess we'll get to see, you know, what this Mania brings.
Well, I mean, to touch base on that, like Eddie, you're talking about Eddie Guerrero back in the day, right?
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero. Yeah.
To me, he always kind of reminded me of that one weird uncle, man. Like at the barbecues that just like still tried to hold on to it. You know what I mean? Like that dude that was like the Al Bundy moments. Yeah. Hey, mijo, come here, mijo, come here. Hey. Remember that one time, dude? You know what I mean? Like, no, that's what Eddie Guerrero always reminds you of, like the really sleazy uncle. Yeah. The one that's drinking and chilling out in the background shit. He's that guy. So that's the uncle that, like, as
goes
a
to
young
the bathroom
kid,
a little too much sometimes.
Yeah, you know? As a young kid, you love him, but as you grow up, you realize he's a piece of shit guy. Like when you start to get older, and I kind of feel like that's what Eddie Guerrero kind of like protruded, even though he was probably one of the nicest dudes on the planet, like to everybody. Because I mean, we all know his story, right? Yeah. it's crazy because I mean everybody knows like when they talk about like like in the back, the behind the scenes, like how everybody's just courteous and nice and caring. They're all a team. They're all a unit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of feel like it's in the same format, but he knew exactly what to do. And I think that's because of like the Hispanic Latino wrestling scene, the culture, because like the mainstream wrestling to me had always been like you made it. That's the soap opera. But the Mexican AAA stuff, like with Conan and those guys back in the day when they're in AAA and stuff like that, they knew how to sell a story because they were doing it more for the people. Like they were like in pulgas, like we've talked about before. They were in flea markets, or they were doing like community shows like around the area, low price, get everybody in. And they were still doing all the amazing stuff that they were able to provide for us for entertainment in the WWE and the big shows. But they were doing it in littler shows, which just combined such a great culture during that time. So like I feel like that's where Eddie and Ray, like Mysterio, you look at what was that dude back in the day, the one that used to have like the I forgot his name, like it was like El Crazy Psychosis. Yeah, right, that was his name, Psychosis, right? Like those guys, since they all started in the AAA stuff back in the day, like they just knew how to sell. They know how to sell a story. I feel like that's what Eddie does. And I feel like if that's what Rey Mysterio, or not Rey Mysterio, if that's what Dominique is kind of doing, that's where like I think it's very important, like the way Brian said, where he was like, Brian, you feel like he still hasn't gotten his like his bumps yet, right?
I don't know. There's just something off about it. I don't know. Again, I've never wrestled a day in my life, so I don't know what exactly it is. But he's more useful as of right now, as is, in just a storyline. Not so much in ring. It's just a storyline. And like I said, he's got so much heat. It doesn't even really make a difference how he is in ring. Like that kid is money. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters. To be honest with you.
True that. Do you feel like it's very comparable to that girl wrestler that used to be like a gymnast or a cheerleader? Do you know what I'm talking about? The one that they call her like the Barbie or something like that. It's a blonde-haired girl.
Tiffany Stratton.
Is that like the one? Like currently?
Yeah, current wrestler.
Yeah, you're probably talking about Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
She was a gymnast. Yeah. No, it's not. She's actually good in the ring. So
damn, Brian throwing heat.
Like I'm just confused where you get this sense that he's a good wrestler, because that's what I'm getting.
I've never seen him wrestle. I just know that he goes out there and puts on a great fucking show. Because like every time I've seen him and I don't watch it, I am highly enjoyed by this dude. I'm just highly enjoying just the way he just goes out there and promotes himself.
Yeah. So just for that. So for what you see and for what you like, that's what he's good for. In ring, again, it's if he's in a ring with like I haven't really seen him in the ring with anyone that he's made look better. I haven't seen him in a ring where someone made him look better. He's basically where he's always been ever since he broke into the company. So take that for what you will.
Good stuff. So right now, Eddie and Brian, I know Triggs probably doesn't watch Triggs. You ain't watching wrestling right now, right?
I haven't really watched wrestling since. Fuck, man, I'd have to say.
Triggs, are you fucking wearing a Stars shirt? Fucking dude, that's awesome, bro. Brian, I don't know if you're familiar with Stars, Brian. I know you've been down here a couple times, but Stars is like our Temu, it's like our Temu version of Sonic, dude.
Okay,
and,
better.
But it's good though, man. The burgers are fucking badass, dude. So good on you, Triggs. That's a great fucking shirt, dude.
Yeah, dude. But, $12 at the mall, dog. What's good?
That's fucking dope. So Brian and Eddie, let me ask you guys, what right now is your current favorite story in wrestling right now? Ooh. And why, if you can explain it?
Brian, you want to take down?
Yeah, I'll go. It was the Bloodline, but that's it's gotten pretty stale at this moment. I think for me, the storyline, which a lot of people don't necessarily like, I do like the thought of there being a triple threat with Punk, Rollins, and Roman. I'm a huge Seth Rollins fan. Like he's like my the guy that I support the most as of right now. And I think that although he's had matches with Roman since the breakup of the Shield, I think right now is a good time to strike on that because they don't really have much to do with Roman as of right now, unless you put him back into the Bloodline storyline. But I think for me that if that were to be a match at WrestleMania, that would be the one that I'm most looking forward to.
Nice. Eddie?
We were talking about this earlier, and Brian might not agree. But I feel like right now, and I think Rumble changed my mind. Jey Uso story. Yeah, I knew you were gonna do that. And about like a month ago, I probably would have been on the same boat with you. But there's just something about that story right now it's like lightning in a bottle for me. I feel like if he doesn't win at Mania, it'll never happen again for him.
All right, but we already know he's getting over at WrestleMania. So where's the fun in that?
Well, no, because sometimes predictable is good. We knew the Avengers were gonna win eventually, and they did. But it was just seeing the story unfold.
Fair enough. Good point.
That was good. I feel like, and again, like I said, a month ago, I wasn't on the J train. I thought he was entertaining. The whole Yeet stuff didn't really it didn't resonate with me. It didn't make sense. But I see how the crowd took to it, and him winning the Rumble, his promo afterwards, even his promo before Rumble. That I think the promo before Rumble got me thinking like, hey, maybe he could be main event Jey Uso. I never thought that name even stuck either, like main event. Obviously now he's going to be in the main event.
It's because he's not. That's why it didn't stick. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wait. Why is there so much hate on this Jey Uso guy? Brian, I don't know. Brian out here just slacking on him.
It's not that. It's just the whole way that it went down. If he was just going to go against Gunther at WrestleMania, I'm not exactly sure why you needed him to win. You could have had that storyline was there anyway. Like that was already there. So you could have just made that match regardless of whether or not he won the Rumble or not. And I told D, I don't know if he's still in the chat, but I told D, like, I get it. Again, it's good for business. But he didn't need to win the Rumble if he was gonna go against Cody, that makes more sense. Like that would make more sense than him winning the Rumble. But for him, he literally just got his ass kicked like a month ago against the same guy that he's going to go up against in WrestleMania.
And that's why I think him winning the Rumble did make sense because he did get his ass beat by Gunther. And
he didn't need to win the Rumble for that though. That could have just been the story moving forward into WrestleMania.
He's already lost to Gunther like twice. Like he lost the world title match. He lost the Intercontinental against him like a year ago. So I feel like if he was gonna go for Gunther, he had to win the Rumble. Of course, I think you could make a case that like somebody like Punk or even Roman could have won that, and it would have made sense more. But they decided to go with Jey, and I don't have a problem with it so much. I think maybe that's why so many people are having an issue with it too. Is like they expected Punk to win, they expected somebody like Roman to win. To Roman versus Cody didn't really make sense though to me. I think Punk versus Cody would have been cool to see, and I think we can still see it.
All right, leave that up. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't even cut you off.
I don't know where they'd go with Punk. I guess that's the triple threat, like you said, is where it's gonna go. But I think Jey had to win the Rumble if they wanted him to go in a title match. I don't think you can make Gunther versus Jey without that. Even like Elimination Chamber, it wouldn't have been as special as he won the Rumble. Him winning the Rumble is a huge swerve too. Like no, I don't think anybody really saw that coming. I think everybody expected Punk.
I just think, yeah, and honestly, I don't have a dog in this race. I didn't care who won the Rumble. I just think that if you were going to put him up against Gunther, You didn't have to have him win. You didn't have to have him win the Rumble. That was already a built-in story that you could have just continued. But going back to that to D's comment, right? He puts, and I love you, brother, but I'm gonna disagree with this, and I'm gonna call you out for this one. Good merch numbers, great reactions, fans of all ages. He says, I didn't see it now. I didn't see it, but now I do. I'm a huge fan of Gunther, but I'm happy for Jay. All right. Now he named all of the things, right, that are good as a wrestler. The one thing he didn't mention was that he's a good wrestler. He didn't mention anything about his in-ring performance. He is one of the most boringest people to watch.
His Mania match last year was kind of booty. Like,
I'm trying not to be toxic, but dude, he's the most boring. He's got at least over under every match 10 super kicks. Back in the day when I was a kid, a super kick meant something. When Shawn Michaels
it was like one and it knocks him out.
Yeah, when Shawn Michaels hit you with a super kick, that was basically the end of you. Yeah. But this guy, he uses that like it's nothing. So he does a lot of super kicks, and he's boring, dude. He's boring in the fucking ring. I'm sorry. But again, it's good for business. For going back to what D said, he does move numbers. He's got a great, obviously, you can't deny his reaction to people. He's
got an audience, man.
He's over. But watching a match with him, bro, that is the longest 20 minutes of your life, dude.
Our boy Heels in the comment section asked a good question though.
Besides Jay, who else? I think the story was there for Punk to win the Rumble and go face Cody. Other than him, I mean Rollins. I felt Rollins already had his time. I know you're a big fan of Rollins, but that's a guy I don't get too. Like it's just a little too much for me. The whole outfit stuff that he does, and
I can't defend that.
Yeah, you can't.
that guy's wardrobe is out of pocket. There's no defending that, bro.
And then like the night after Rumble, like he just stomped the shit out of Roman. And he
comes out looking weird. I get it.
And like nothing happened, and he's all whoa with his little song, and it doesn't resonate with me. It's just I don't know. I feel like Rollins needs a character change. Maybe more of that architect type stuff he was doing back in the day. Obviously, you got to change it because you can't go back to the old.
I'm sorry. This is just the most egregious thing I've ever read in my fucking life. D, can you pull up D's last comment, please?
I could, but I put this one up for a point. I thought this one was good.
Oh, I'm sorry. That just pierced my brain. I'm sorry. What's this one? Damn, I feel because the last time wrestling, DX is Stone Cold. Okay, I get it.
Okay,
I mean that was a good one.
That was kind of like the golden era, right?
Yeah, Attitude Era was probably the best. But I feel like right now's wrestling is. If you go back to like Attitude Era, there was some wonky ass shit, like Mark Henry getting a hand, like his hand, and like it just there's some weird ass.
Yeah, there was things like there was always gonna have like misfirings in the show or like things that don't make sense, right? That was the Hurricane dude. Right? I don't know if you remember the fucking Hurricane guy. That guy was silly at first. It was dumb. And then later on, it sold. Like sooner or later, it just clicked and people started loving it.
Right? After the Attitude Era. But no, I mean, like the Attitude Era, everybody, I think it's just like a nostalgia thing. Like everybody loves Stone Cold. Everybody loved The Rock, Triple H, Undertaker. Like, oh, yeah, all those guys were good. The in-betweens were kind of just like weird. Mm-hmm. Hogan main evented like 10 of them. His finisher was a leg drop.
Are we going to compare Hulk Hogan and Jey Uso? Are we really doing that right now?
Is that a thing?
And D is trying to make it a thing to prove his point, but we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
I don't know.
That
if you want to bring up the Hogan topic.
I was gonna say like we don't have to do that. Everyone knows how everyone feels about Hogan. I am on that same, that same train, but you can't take away what he did for the company. Like listen, every couple of years, we get someone that has this momentum. We get someone that we haven't, this is not new what Jey Uso is doing. Like every year we get someone that has this type of reaction from the fans, whether it be Daniel Bryanson or whether it be, there's every so often this fucking happens. So this is not anything new. I'm not gonna be so quick to put him in the same stature as a Hulk Hogan in the run that he had, just because of a finisher, bro. Like that's wild, bro. I don't
I wanted to wait for the proper moment to put that up. I thought that was a really good.
Yeah, I agree with Rob. Fuck Hogan. Fuck.
Eels asks, so who do you all think is gonna win the elimination?
Cena.
No. Oh wow.
Cena wins it.
What do you guys think in the comments?
I think the Cena Cody story makes sense. I can also foresee like a heel turn with Cody. I want to see the shit out of Cody Lander, bro. Like Cody Lander, bro. Like Homelander. Like I just want to see that out of Cody. I think Cena makes sense doing that.
So Cena versus Cody, like Eels is saying?
Yeah, I say Cena and Cody. Brian?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, you're in the same boat, Cena, Cody.
If not, I don't mind Roman and Cody running that back.
Roman and Cody.
A rubber match would be cool, but I don't know.
What do you guys think the current wrestling seeds needs to evolve into its next evolutionary state?
I think it has it. I don't know if you guys watch NXT, but NXT is flooded with a whole bunch of talent, bro. It's actually now. I used to be a huge NXT fan back when they used to do like the takeovers in Brooklyn. Me and my friends used to go every year to the takeovers in Brooklyn. That was when they had, Becky, they had Sasha, they had, they had Finn, like they had KO, like they were stacked, bro, stacked. And they're getting back to that slowly but surely.
Yeah. I was watching what was it, Takeover or not Takeover, Vengeance Day from Saturday. I was just watching that before I hopped on, and man, like that it's there's some talent, man. There's some really good talent. They're booking talent, or they've signed talent from out of like AAA, and where did Julia come out of? Japan,
Japan. She came out of New Japan.
Yeah, like it's they have an embarrassment of riches in their talent pool. You even look at something like AEW, they have fucking hella talent over there too. The way they use them is a different story, right? But there's just so much wrestling talent, and that's why I can argue like Attitude Era wrestling is just a nostalgia thing for us. I think a lot of the wrestling at that time wasn't as good as it is now. In ring wise, it's just fucking crazy. Some of the stuff that they do, and you have your issues like the 100 super kicks a match. There's plenty of people who do that, and I think it's like, ugh,
fair.
Like it's cut the super kicks. But I think in ring, the product right now is really good. Numbers wise, WWE is doing way better than they've ever done, even during the Attitude Era. I think wrestling right now, I think because we know what it is now, because of the internet and all that, we kind of dismiss, or like the majority of people will dismiss wrestling. But if you actually sit down and watch it, it's just entertainment, man. It's great.
Good shit. So let me ask you, Trigger's been kind of quiet because I know he's like me. He doesn't really know much about wrestling and stuff like that either. Talking about WWE, like I'm not really big on it, but I do want to talk about the local scene, right, Eddie? But before we go, Triggs, this will invite you back into this part too. What has been your most iconic wrestling moment that has stuck with you throughout the years? This is for you guys. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be like an event. It doesn't have to be like a big WrestleMania. It could just be like, look, I'll break the ice. I think I once saw when I was younger. What was that guy? Not Hacksaw Jim something. What was the guy that used to be? No, okay. There was Hacksaw Jim Duggan, but there was a guy who became a politician.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
No. He's talking about
fuck that guy.
Yeah, not Jesse the Body Ventura.
Fucking fake seal ass.
He used to do the fucking chicken wing. Fuck.
He used to come out and he used to tap his shoulder. Bob Berkowitz or something like that.
Bob Backlund. I don't know why.
Bob Backlund. I know there was someone.
I beat you, D. I beat you.
Yeah. I think it might have been. I once saw him clothesline the Spike Dudley guy, and Spike Dudley sold that motherfucker so hard. I thought he killed that dude. I literally thought on national television he killed this little guy, and I thought it was amazing. I don't know why. I'll never forget that. It's not even like a big thing. It was just like the most amazing cell. Or Brian, go. Brian's got one.
I'll go quick. I'll go quick. I have a few. But my one of my favorites. Damn, I got two. I'll just name them really quick. When I was a kid, I was huge into wrestling. Ultimate Warrior was my guy. So I convinced my friend was having a birthday party, and I convinced his mom to buy the WrestleMania of Hogan versus Warrior, which was fucking awesome. And so all of us as kids got to watch that live. That was a really cool moment. And also, I went to the first WrestleMania that was at MetLife, and I got to watch The Undertaker's entrance live. This was the one where all the hands were coming up from the stage and it had all the mist and shit like that, bro. Like I saw that like live. That shit was fucking amazing. Like nice. easily top 2 moments in wrestling for me. Those are
it was Bradshaw. It was Bradshaw. Yeah, he fucking lariated Spike Dudley and it like folded him in half, dude.
I was gonna say like Bob Backlund wasn't wrestling around the Dudley's time, so I was kind of off, but yeah, I get it. Yeah, it makes more sense. Yeah,
that guy was crazy, dude. His lariat, a clothesline?
Clothesline from hell.
He used to be super good at it, dude. He used to sell that bitch so good. Super good. But yeah, that was mine. What else? Triggs, what do you got? I know you got one, dude. I know you got one. Every kid has one because of the golden era of wrestling.
One of the first times that I ever got to see what's his name? The Undertaker doing omoplata.
Oh, the Gogoplata.
Yeah, the Gogoplata.
The Gogoplata. Yeah, that was pretty dope.
Yeah. Because like you don't see like traditional like jiu-jitsu like moves in pro wrestling, not like that. And like the way that he executed it that first time that I saw it, because I was like just getting into jiu-jitsu at the time, and so when I saw it, I was just like, wow, that's a thing, that's a thing. And yeah, like when he executed it, I was just like, yeah, dude, that would suck. Like if I ever got caught in a real Gogoplata, I'd be like, you know what, dude, I'm good. I don't want to go to sleep like this.
I don't want to go to sleep like this. It's fucking funny. Good. Alrighty, boys. Now, I think Eddie, did you do yours? Eddie, we still got to get yours, right?
Mine would probably be watching Taker's entrance for the first time too, or not the first time, but like live. It's probably not as cool as Brian's, but I got to see that live. I think it was like the show before they went to Saudi. I can't even remember who he was facing that day.
Lesnar.
It might have been. Was it Lesnar?
At Saudi, it was probably Lesnar.
Yeah, it was in Saudi. That entrance. I mean, because I had never seen. I had been to WWE shows before, but I had never seen The Undertaker live, and watching that entrance, just the gong and the lightning and all that, it was just dope.
Badass.
I wasn't a kid, but that's I think that's a memory I'll always have.
Very good. All righty, so Ed, let's get into this talks, man. Tell us about the Combat Cult and what it is that you guys do down here in the Valley, and what it is that you guys are running, man.
So we're an independent wrestling company here in the RGV. We've been doing shows since 2022. We've done shows at local bars like Suerte Bar and Grill, Senor Barbas here in Westlaco. We recently did a show in January at Cine Rey, the historic Cine Rey, downtown McAllen. We're going to be doing our Fear the Reaper show here March 2nd, and we also have a couple of other ones coming up there at Cine Rey. We have April 27th and June 8th.
June 8th?
Yeah, June 8th. Those are our next 3 shows. Right now, Fear the Reaper, we have a couple of pretty dope matches coming up. If you're familiar with the local wrestling scene or independent wrestling scene, man, the card we have is pretty stacked. Yeah, we have our absolute champion, Brick Savage, coming down. Brick won that championship in October. He's defended it a couple of times. Brick will be defending against one of our locals, Kike Caballero. Kike has been wrestling for quite some time down here in the Valley. He's, like I said, he's one of our local favorites. You know, everywhere he goes, he's I guess you can call him like an indie darling here for the Valley.
Indie darling.
Yeah, indie darling.
I was like, that's a cool name.
Yeah, he calls himself El Hijo de Pueblo. So his entrance is just dope, man. He comes out to like Vicente Fernandez and he gives out these roses to ladies in the crowd.
Nice.
He's a heartbreaker, man.
He's a little heartbreaker, man.
Heartbreaker.
Yeah, save some for the rest of us, guys. Shit, man.
We also have
my wife lives down here, dude. Show, dude.
Dang, bro, save some for the rest of us, man.
We also have our boy Eric Shadows wrestling against Alexander Crowley. Alexander Crowley was actually our first absolute champion down here.
Nice.
You know, Crowley's been gone for a little while, but he's coming back. He's going to be facing Eric Shadows.
I've actually met Shadow.
Shadows.
Yeah, I've actually met Shadows. He would frequent a place that I was going to, and every so often, you know, like I would run into him, and yeah, he like I forget how him and I came into like conversation, but like I think I knew his friends or like the people that he was hanging out with, and then he introduced himself, and I was just like, oh, dude, cool, you know. And, you know, we got to talking a little bit, and you know, it was kind of just one of those things where it was just like, okay, yeah, cool.
we got to pull up right here, boys. Got to pull up right here.
Brick Savage. Brick was actually just on AEW Collision, I believe.
Very cool.
Okay, good stuff. This dude over here, man, this guy just tell him to save some for the rest of us. Damn, man.
Dude, he's gonna be the Theo, like, you know,
yeah, man.
Like,
yeah, he's the Theo
years, dude. You know.
What do we got? Okay, so we have these two.
Yeah, Iris Turner, Molly Table. They're coming out from Austin. We started our women's division. We have some announcements coming up about our women's division at that show. You gotta be there in person to hear what's going on. But they're out of the Rhodes Academy. Those two ladies have trained with Dustin Rhodes, man. You know, Gold Dust from back in the day.
Oh shit!
Yeah, those two ladies can go. They can go, and I'm excited to have them down here. We've had Molly before. We haven't had Iris, but Molly's come down here before. I want to say in our October show.
Nice, nice.
She can go, man. She can go.
Nice.
You got Buzzsaw and Chris Austin right there. Buzzsaw actually just came back from, I believe, a brain surgery.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he just had a brain surgery about I don't know if it was like a year or two ago.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he's wrestled with Chris Austin a few times. Chris Austin's one of our locals. Chris has been wrestling for I want to say like it's under 10 years, but he's been around, and Chris can really go. That man is he's got a case to say he's one of the best in the Valley.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Chris can go, man. Chris can go. He's he had an opportunity to become our absolute champion in September. He faced Brick Savage, who ultimately won. And
wasn't that a fucking problem in weight classes? This dude looks like he weighs $150, and the other guy's like 200.
The thing with the absolute championship is it's actually a derivative from jiu-jitsu. It's open weight, it's open class. So
oh shit.
Yeah, so
come get it, dude. Come run it.
Yeah, so come run it.
Talking standing 10 toes, homie. What's good?
Chris, like I said, Chris has a case to say he's one of the best in the Valley, and he wanted to prove it. And unfortunately, he came up short. But you know, Chris has had a couple of opportunities since then to kind of inch his way back in there. You know, one thing or another has happened, and it just hasn't come to fruition. But you know, Chris, I wouldn't be surprised to see Chris, you know, in the coming future, you know, with a championship around his waist.
That's badass. Then we got a tag team match. Oh shit!
Yes. For the Combat Cult Tag Team Championships, you got the current champions, Nightmares of Pain. As you see, Pete Payne, Nightmare, they've run the Texas scene for quite some time. They've been all over. They've gone through Mexico. They've done pretty much anything you can think of. And Pete actually wrestled Brian Keith down here not too long ago, about a year ago, or a little less than a year ago. Yeah, I don't know who Brian Keith is. He's a wrestler on AEW. He's from Houston. He was one of the hottest, free agents at the time, and AEW picked him up. And right now he's teaming with Chris Jericho. So Pete actually wrestled him the day after he got his AEW contract. So Pete's got some experience there. The challengers, T.Y. Shane, Dill Dempsey, they're a newly formed team. They've had a couple of runs throughout Texas. T.Y. Shane, he's also trained with Dustin Rhodes out there in the Austin area. He's got a freaking ton of experience under his belt too. They've actually faced each other for the tag titles a few months ago. You know, T.Y. Shane and Dill came up short, but they've been training for this, and you know they've got Nightmares of Pain coming up, and you know we'll see what happens at Fear the Reaper.
Damn, it looks good. All right,
and then there you go. We got Shadows and Crowley right there. Again, two of the best we've ever seen. You down here in the RGV. If you've ever seen Crowley, man, Crowley is a lot like Shadows in the sense that they can strike with the best of them. It's kind of hard to see, you know, to pick who could win that one, just because they're so alike and they've got the experience that they do have, and I'm excited to see that one. We'll see who comes out on top on that.
Yep. I'm excited to see my boy Eric, man. Eric's a G, man. So I'm excited to see him on this card. It'll be pretty good. We got Kimberly Lena and Tina Nix.
Yeah, so Kimber's also another one who comes out of the Rhodes Academy. Kimber's got some experience. She's actually, I believe she's wrestling tonight here in Alamo.
I want to say, Brian, was she the one that was on Chew and His podcast?
Oh, I don't remember. I know they had a
wrestler recently, right?
A wrestler recently.
They had Nikki Fuego.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Nikki from here. Yeah, Nikki Fuego is from here. Okay. She's one that we've had wrestle for us a couple of times. On some of our I guess you can say like our sister shows. Mm-hmm. Nikki will probably be wrestling with us pretty soon. I'm looking at bringing her in April.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm looking to book her in April. But Kimber, I believe they're actually facing each other today. Kimber and Nikki.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like I said, Kimber, she's trained at the Rhodes Academy, so you know she's game. Tina Nix is coming out of Austin. We've had Tina here a couple of times too. Tina fucking Nix, man, she can bang with the best of them. So
when it comes to having wrestlers on other promotions and stuff like that, in our organization, like in the MMA world, we run our thing through a licensing department for TDLR and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like Kimber's going to be fighting tonight, and then she'll be matched up again March 2nd. How do they do it when it comes to like the licensing for the fighters that you guys have, in the sense of like, if they take a concussion, they're out for a couple months, or an injury for a couple weeks? Like, how does that kind of work in the wrestling scene?
Texas is very loose. We don't have any licensing. It's, because of the nature of pro wrestling, there's no licensing. If you go to somewhere like Oklahoma, they do have licensing that you have to abide by.
Okay.
There's other states here in the United States that you actually do have to get a license, but Texas is pretty lenient on that.
I mean, they're pretty tough though, man, to be doing like match after match like that. That's fucking tough, dude.
Yeah, like I said, because of the nature of pro wrestling, it's a little lax. But yeah, you know, you do have to be very careful being a promoter and with people who wrestle very frequently. Concussions, like you said, is one of the
it's like the leading thing, right?
Yeah, that's the biggest concern is you know, concussions. We have a pretty good protocol. We know if somebody's injured, we take the time, you know, to get them checked out. We don't book them. But that they're independent contractors as well, so they have to kind of like they're the ones who also take the bookings themselves. So it's really like a two-way street. Like we as a promotion need to be very wary of who we're booking, and also the wrestler themselves has to be very wary of where they wrestle.
These people are tough, man. I'll tell you that much, man.
Oh yeah, man. Some of the
real tough. We got Hawk versus Jones.
Yes, so Con Hawk is our current South Texas champion. Con is another one who's a local who's been wrestling here in the Valley for many years. Sean also has some really good experience under his belt. They've also faced each other quite a few times in our sister promotions. Sean is trying to get that South Texas title, so we'll see where that comes out. that has the potential, man, to be a
Fight of the night.
show stealer. Yeah, like it can really steal the show. Sean and Khan put on some bangers, man. So,
Nice, dude. Nice.
and then we got right down there, we got one of our locals, Jonathan Douglas, and Teflon John. Teflon is a guy. Teflon, man. He's wrestled here a couple times too in the Valley. Back in the day, he's calling himself the Revelator. You check him out on social media, man. He's handy with the mic. He's handy with the mic, and he's no slouch in the ring either. So JD's one of our locals that he doesn't have so much experience here. You know, he's only been wrestling for, I believe, under a year, maybe 2. But Teflon's going to teach him a thing or two. So that's going to be a fun one.
Dope. And as we see, we can get tickets here and stuff on the website.
Yeah, so if you go to our Eventbrite page, you can go ahead and reserve your seats. It's reserved seating. Front row tickets are $15. They come with a couple of perks. General admission is going to be $10. Like I said, it's reserve your seats. So, you know, you pick your seat, you're going to get your seat. If you buy at the door, it's going to get a little trickier because, you know, it's going to be a little bit more pricey, and picking your seat, you're not going to have, you know, the best seat that you could have had. So I recommend, you know, if you're going to go to our show, click that, get tickets now and grab them.
As you guys heard, March 2nd, guys, don't forget March 2nd, Sunday.
Wait a minute. I do have a question for Eddie really quick. So this is going to be March 2nd. So that's jumping into the future. I kind of want to wind it back a little bit and go back into your past just for a second, right? Ooh, okay. I have a question. What makes someone want to start an indie promotion? Like, how did this start? Like, what made you start this company?
Brother, I probably hit my head somewhere and lost my mind, but no. So a little bit of a background. I actually used to be a trainee. I trained a little bit at the old promotion we used to have here in the Valley in McAllen called Wrestling Revolution. Boys, I don't know if you've been to Wrestling Revolution back in the day, but those were the guys
once or twice, yeah,
those were the guys like Shooter Roberts, Jim Justice. Pete Payne was one of the guys who taught me, or still teaches me to this day. But yeah, I used to be a trainee there. You know, I didn't really find the time because life happens. You don't always get to dedicate yourself the way you'd like to. And as you boys, you train MMA. I've trained MMA. You got to dedicate a lot of time to that. Pro wrestling is no different. You got to dedicate maybe even more time to it. And I just didn't have it. So I train here and there still, but just not as much as I'd like to. COVID hit, everything had slowed down. We got our stimmies, and I said, I need to make this stimmy count. I could have gone and blown it on whatever, but I went and bought my own ring. And at the time I bought the ring to try to make not a gym or a school or anything like that, but I wanted to be able to train at my own time, in my own leisure. And, again, that didn't happen, but I've always been the kind of a creative person. I've always enjoyed being creative, writing stories. I did a couple of creative writing classes, in school, high school and whatnot. And I always thought like maybe that's kind of where I fit in the most. Of course, everybody had, there was promotions out there. They didn't really need somebody like me. So I said, hey, why not give it a shot, my own, promotion. Mm-hmm. One thing led to another, long story short. And I'm here, I started my own promotion. Pete Payne and another promotion called Evil Masters got together with me. They wanted to rent the ring at first. And, I had agreed. And then the promotion Evil Masters was like, hey, do you know any wrestlers? And D and I knew, because I've known D since the WR times. And D knew a couple of people from his Mission Pro days over there with Thunder Rosa. And, I was like, yeah, let me make some phone calls here and there and we'll see, who we can get. And the guys were like, well, welcome aboard. So, at the time I was already kind of forming Combat Cult. I wasn't ready to pull the trigger just yet, but as soon as they said, hey, welcome aboard, I was like, all right, well then I guess this is it. And we did our first show October 22nd, 2022. It was a very small show. It didn't have a lot of bells or whistles. We didn't know what we were doing. very much. The outcome was, that the attendance wasn't really big.
Of course,
it
happens.
It happens, right? But
yeah,
I was like, hey, you know what? I didn't get discouraged, and I kept the ball rolling. I got with Suerte Bar and Grill here in Westlaco. We did about a year's worth of shows with them. We did a Cine Rey show and a couple of shows here and there with Senor Barbas, and now we're here back at Cine Rey. So,
very
but
nice,
yeah,
very nice.
long story short, because there's so much more I can go into detail.
I'm
with.
sure.
But yeah, it's crazy, man. I honestly didn't think we would be where we're at today. At Cine Rey doing shows, every other month or so. But we are, man, and we've had some really great fans who supported us. A lot of backstage people who have helped us out. People like D. D's one of those guys who hasn't asked me for a dime. He does this because he loves it, and he's helped me in so many different ways. I can't thank him enough. And we got guys like Vicente Aguilar. Y'all might not know who he is, but he's a guy who's helped us out this last year. Doing a bunch of different things. Pete Payne, the guy you saw on our poster, that guy's helped us do so much when it comes to like setting up the ring and getting us connections here and there. It's been a collaborative effort, and I'm glad to have the people I have on board with me. This is a crazy business to be in. Not to say that I haven't been in here. I haven't been doing this very long, and I can't claim to know everything. I don't, but I'm learning every day. I'm learning how to be a better promoter and a better manager.
So Eddie, just to touch on that, just a little bit more. You're saying that this is kind of like raising a child by throughout the village type of thing. When it comes to the creative aspect of this, what does that consist of? Like, are you solely the creative behind this everything? Are you masterminding everything, or is this a kind of like a collaborative effort?
It's more of a collaborative effort with where I get the last say too.
Okay. So you're the Vince. You're the Vince
yeah,
McMahon.
Pretty much.
Got it.
But the difference between Vince and I is that Vince grew up in this. He had his dad in this. He did everything from commentary to, he probably freaking scrubbed the floors. Who knows? But Vince had a lot of experience, and I don't. I really don't. And when it comes to something like creative, I do like to be. I do like to be, and in general, as a manager, I guess you can say, I like to be very collaborative. If a wrestler comes to me with something that they'd like to do, then 9 times out of 10, I'll be cool with it. I just kind of have to make sure it fits within the realm of what we're trying to accomplish. When it comes to what they do in the ring, that's everything is on them. Yeah, everything is on them. But storyline wise, I kind of pick and choose where we're gonna go. And again, if talent says, hey, what if we do this, and this, then I'm happy doing it because I'm still learning as well. So I can't be, and even if I knew everything, even if I was Vince, I don't like to be the type of I don't like to be a boss per se. I think leadership takes a lot of teamwork, I guess you can say.
Got it.
Teamwork makes the dream work, So
who's your Bruce Pritchard? Who's your right hand man? Who do you lean on for those close calls?
That's got to be D, probably. D, okay. Yeah, D and I can talk for fucking hours about pro wrestling, and then when it comes to combat, D has a ton of ideas. We've gone back and forth about different storylines that we'd like to do, and some of them we've kind of done, some of them we haven't gotten there yet, just because we're not at that scale where I'd like it to be to kind of pull that story off. But we've definitely done a couple of things together, and I listen to D. I'll pass some things by D, like, hey, what do you think about this? And he'll either give me like the yay or nay. But I have so many great ideas that they're almost always yays.
As if D needs to get put over anymore on this show. Okay, I'm done with this.
Sooner or later, we're gonna call it. We're gonna change the Doug to D, D's average boys.
Yeah. This guy got over.
I have to ask, and it's a crazy question. Where does one come around in becoming a professional wrestler in South Texas?
So there is a wrestling school here in the Valley, New Breed School of Wrestling. They've been in operation for quite some time already too. I want to say it was just after COVID or maybe just a little bit before COVID. I can't remember exactly when. But they've been training a lot of the locals that you see right now on our card, like Kike Caballero, Jonathan Douglas, Sean Jones trains there too, but Sean had some experience before that. That's probably the more, I guess you can say, prominent school.
Okay.
There are other, I guess you can say, promotions that also do their own training. Places like TWL, some of these lucha promotions, they have their own training going on. We have our own training going on. We don't have a facility per se, but we are, I have the ring, we set it up, we get together, we'll train in a yard or wherever we're at. I did have it at my MMA gym for a bit, or not my MMA gym, but the gym that I attend. Mm-hmm. So, here and there we'll train, and we're looking to maybe start our own training school here soon. But you really just gotta, see what fits your budget and your style. New Breed, like I said, they have their own facility. They've been training guys for quite some time now. I'm sorry.
No, my boy Moldrick in the comment section. Mike, he's like, nobody cares. Everyone cares. That's my boy Mike. He's one of my training coaches at the gym also.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So. No, yeah, but back to your question, there's several places that you can train. The training's got a lot better than it was back when I started training. Training at that time was like, hey, set up the ring here at Cine Rey before the show and you can train. That wasn't always what happened, because setting up the ring was time consuming.
Oh yeah, dude. Especially moving it to every location. Fuck that, dude.
Yeah. No, well, Cine Rey, we had it there at the location, and we would set it up and break it down, the same night. And but it was just so heavy. There was so many parts to it. It was really time consuming and strenuous.
Yeah, that's like us every promotion, man. When we have to go help them set up cages and rings and all that other shit, it's the worst, man. Everybody's flakes, and you're only like 3 dudes trying to build a fucking ring together. It's the shittiest, dude.
It's a pain in the ass.
It's the fucking worst. Yeah. No, but that's super cool, man. And what are your future ideals that you would like for Combat Cult to be able to come to fruition?
So when I started Combat Cult, it was really with the idea that I wanted to build a platform to expose the guys and girls who wrestle with us to get ready for something like TV, like something like AEW, something like WWE. Thank you. Combat Cult is fire. But yeah, I wanted to build something that the guys could get ready for like a TV for, because when you wrestle for independent promotions, you don't really have that in mind. You have the crowd, the live crowd in mind, which is great. I think you still can't lose that element. But I wanted to produce something, one, that would get the guys ready for that, and two, that would actually genuinely entertain the fans. A lot of times you look at what wrestlers or wrestling promotions are doing, on like YouTube. Independent wrestling promotions kind of just upload their videos online and, hey, here's so-and-so wrestling so-and-so. Do you really want to just sit there and watch, A and B go at it, for 15, 20 minutes? Not really. So what I wanted to do was create what I want to do, and what we're moving towards is creating a wrestling show very similar to kind of what like Lucha Underground was doing.
Okay.
We all familiar with Lucha Underground?
Yeah. So that was a big production, man. They did like a lot of production. Yeah,
they did freaking.
I dig it. I dug the evolution of their way that they kind of like wanted to promote shows and do their. It was almost like a TV series, right?
Yeah, it was basically a TV series. Yeah. We want to do something similar to that. There's another promotion going on right now. I believe they're out of South Carolina called Ashay Wrestling. and it's an all-black promotion, black owner. All the wrestlers and staff are black, and their production is fucking top notch, bro. Like it's great. The wrestling is great. The concept they have is almost similar to what Lucha Underground was doing with like their music and the wrestling going on. They have like two matches, and then at the end they have a live performance. I've been watching them very closely, and I'm not trying to rip them off because what they're doing is unique. But there are some elements in there that I'm like, man, I would like to replicate that with our own twist. Because if you look at what we're doing, it's very kind of horror-ish. It's almost like spooky vibe that we got going, even in our poster. You know, we did a little bit of like goosebump elements there. So I'm trying to create an episodic kind of product to put out there for, like I said, for our boys to get ready for TV and for the audience to actually enjoy. So
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
so that's kind of like my next 5-year plan, and hopefully here with our next show, that's kind of where we're going to be moving towards, producing a product where you can actually sit down and enjoy it, almost like a WWE, or even like a not WWE. I feel like that's very polished, very sports event like. I want to create more of an episodic type of television show or YouTube production, whatever we might upload it on.
Yo, Moldrick in the comment section, he's another talker, man. He's so good at like being on the mic. Maybe he's someone that we'd want to bring on later on too. He'd have a good ass fucking time.
Let's talk about that, man. We need staff. We need all types of personalities, and that's going to be also key in producing the type of product that we want, is having these personalities to kind of move these storylines forward, or interviews. I think it's a problem we have on the indie scene, where too many people get their cell phone out and they're like, I'm so and so, and I'm going to wrestle somebody on this day, and it's like in their kitchen or something.
Yeah, you need more of a production value.
Yeah, and it's not their fault because they don't have those,
resources.
Like the opportunity and the resources and stuff. That's absolutely correct. Yeah.
But I've made some contacts here with the city of Westlake, where there's a local theater where we can actually shoot stuff. I've bought a ton of fucking equipment that we can use, for audio, video. So, I'm trying to get all of that stuff together so we can actually have it all. And Moldrick, you're welcome aboard, brother. Hit me up with them DMs.
Yeah, straight up. He's my boy, man. Mike's got this stuff, man.
Cool, man. Yeah, we'll get that all together. But yeah, back to like the question is that.
So what you're saying? So the way that you're describing it, and I'm going to cut you off. But the way you're describing is kind of almost like I don't know if you're familiar with how OVW does their production. It's kind of like the cinematic type of deal. Is that what you're trying to?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, almost. Like obviously, like our in-ring stuff is going to be in-ring, right? Like I don't want to get too cinematic with it. I think like Lucha Underground's shooting was very cinematic still. It's the in-betweens that I really want to make more cinematic.
Yeah, because that would be like retention, right? Like retaining people to kind of come through all the shows. It's the in between the matches. The matches are entertaining. If you go, you buy your ticket, you sit. It's like you guys said, like being there live is always so much fun and entertainment and stuff like that. But it's the in between that kind of like where people kind of fall off, and it's hard to maintain that momentum in between each event, right?
Yeah,
definitely. So that's what you're trying to kind of like, hey, you know what? I think that needs its own attention also.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's very easy for like an independent wrestling promotion, because we're not on weekly. We don't have the resources or the finances to be on weekly. So when you're doing something like a monthly show or even like a bi-monthly show, it's the storytelling is kind of hard to get by, especially like with independent contractors like the wrestlers are. I have Brick Savage this month. I don't have Brick Savage for April because Brick is booked up the ass. Brick's a very popular wrestler. You see Brick looks like a fucking pro wrestler, and Brick's not always available. So
how do you navigate around that?
Luckily we have such a crazy talent pool in Texas that you're able to pull entertaining wrestlers still. Okay. And you can still forward storylines. Like I said, it's incredibly difficult, especially only doing like once a month or once every other month, to progress storylines. And I think that's where having like an episodic show is going to help, where people can tune in once a week, see what's going on with Combat Cold. You know, I can plug a promo with Brick there, you know, because Brick might not be available for the next month or two, but Brick can always cut a, you know, a 15, 30-second promo saying, I'm going to be back. I'm going to beat, you know, whoever's ass when I see them. And, you know, that can progress the storyline so much. So sure. You know, that's kind of where it's going to be key to progress what a narrative, whatever narrative we're trying to move forward.
Oh.
Okay.
There we go. Well, good stuff, boys. Good stuff. So we got March 2nd. It's going to be at the Cine El Rey.
Yes.
Doors open at 2 p.m.
Yes. Doors will open at 2 p.m. We'll start the show at about 3 o'clock. We do have a private meet and greet for those who get front row tickets or even our sponsors. So that will be about 1:30. We'll have about half an hour before doors open for all those folks who got the VIP treatment. We'll meet and greet with our wrestlers. We'll have some posters for them to get signed. And then we'll start the show. We'll open the doors for the general admission. And then we'll start the show about 3 o'clock.
Very, very nice. Very nice. Well, I can't wait, man. That's going to be super excited. I'm going to be there for sure because I'm going to be helping with the commentary. So I'm going to be out there trying to learn a little bit more about the inner workings of the wrestling scene. And I don't know, maybe get slapped a little bit or something. I'll end up probably getting choke slammed or something by someone by the end of the night. I'm going to be hating everybody. But can't wait, man. Super excited. Guys, if you need anything, we're going to put the banner up on the Facebook page. So that way, and a link to where you guys can get tickets. If not, don't forget, you can get tickets at the door. It's a little bit more pricey that way, but don't forget, it's going to be an entertaining show. We're all going to be a part about. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. All the kids love it. It's going to be fantastic, guys. Eddie, thank you for being here. Again, I'm not going to tell you need to leave or anything like that. You're going to stay because you're going to talk nerd shit now. Now you're in the cusp of it, dude. Now we got to go on the whole other nature of going somewhere else into comic books and all that other shit. Triggs has been kindly sitting there silently, just chilling out, eating his fucking pizza. Better be cauliflower pizza, bitch. But
fuck all that.
Better be diet pizza, motherfucker.
I'll swing on a motherfucker for giving me cauliflower pizza.
Oh, yeah, that shit sucks, dude. All right, boys, let's talk into the first conversation. We got a little bit going on. Nothing too crazy, but Invincible already released on Amazon Prime Video. We got the first 3 episodes of season 3. Who's seen it? Who hasn't seen it? Who the fuck is loving it? Who's not loving it? Let me know. Eddie looks like he's already got his hands up. He's like, I don't even know what Invincible is. I don't even know what
Invincible is. Invincible. I just haven't kept up with it.
So you haven't caught up to the new season. Brian, I think Brian told me he hasn't seen anything the last couple of weeks, except for Captain America Brave New Something. We're going to talk about that later. Triggs, what about you, man?
So I actually haven't seen it, but I've read it. So I know exactly what's going on. Like, I've seen like every highlight of everything that's gone on. And I'm kind of just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I remember this. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Buenos noches, man. Buenos noches, Vincent. Buenos noches. And diet pizza is a sin. You're definitely getting slapped for that, Chris. Yes, I am. And Chaotic Energy says, but cauliflower fried rice, though, is so fucking good. There's a thing that if you're not eating fried rice with the sweet soy sauce, with a little bit of lemon, like you're missing out. The cauliflower fried rice is really, really good. And yes, Invincible's back. It hit the ground running. It's amazing again. If you haven't caught up, it's really good. We are in the season where Mark is about to don his blue and black costume. Oliver has coming to age in his teenage world and his teenage life, and he's already becoming a brash teenager who doesn't like to pay attention. What's that guy's name that works with the CIA? The fucking
Cecil.
Cecil's already doing his Cecil things.
Cecil Stegman.
Yeah, and we get yeah, man, and we get a development for Eve and Invincible already kind of like getting his relationship on. I think a lot of people can kind of concur and agree that the Amber storyline was kind of dull. So having Eve's relationship kind of kick back up has been really well. And Yeah, man. Invincible's just chock full of adventure and fucking fight scenes and blood and all this stuff. Triggs, if you're not caught up on it yet, but
I've been an avid reader of this comic.
Yeah, the series for a long time.
Ever, dude. Like, there's very, very little about this comic that I don't know.
Yeah. We're a couple of episodes away from hopefully getting the Conquest fight.
Oh,
yeah,
that is that close.
Yeah, like of course, like because Oliver's in his teenage years. He's donning the blue and black costume. Like it's about to happen, man. So the Conquest fight's really crazy. So's the Anissa fight. Yeah, the Anissa fight that comes up later. Of course, we all know what happens with that. But man,
you guys be ready. Like for the people, for the people who have certain traumas, just take it with a big grain of salt, man.
Fuck the grain of salt. It's it's supposed to be like, it's supposed to be fucking jaw-dropping hard shit. If you guys don't know, there is a really bad
there's a grape scene.
Grape. We'll call it grape scene. It's a Viltrumite woman who grapes Mark after a huge fight. And it's in the comic books. It was one of those things like us readers.
It was like the first time you'd seen a male character have that happen to them, and so like it was that way. It was one of those things where Rick Kirkman was just like, "Hey, like this happens to males too, man."
Let's throw it out there.
And so like
I love the word.
We're trying to flip it. Yeah, we're trying to. We're trying to be.
I'm trying to be as PC as I can.
PC as we can.
Since clearly I fucked it up with micro and shit. But yeah, like
Biggie in the comments, he wants to fucking be the volunteer and shit. He wants to be tribute to Anissa. Yeah, he out there. Biggie's already calling dibs and shit.
Yeah, and so when that happens, like you kind of feel for Mark. You're like he's there. He's like huddled, like in the fetal position. He's like, I cannot believe that just happened.
Yeah,
because she like does her thing. Like she like comes down, rips her shit off. Does his does her thing and flies away.
She's just like, thanks, dude. Laters.
Yeah,
thank you, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he's just like, I cannot believe this just happened. And so like,
I wonder how they're gonna do it, man. I really wonder how they're gonna get it done.
Eve about it. Eve goes nuts, nuts.
I wonder how it goes.
Yeah. Because as it is, that whole incident has repercussions of its own, not just with like his like immediate family and like Omni-Man and Eve and stuff like that, but later on down the line in the comic book, there are repercussions for that action, and there is one of those where the actions of that are not overlooked, but they are not as addressed as the person should have gotten. And
it's crazy.
It really does come back to like bite Mark in the ass.
Yeah, because the only reason why Anissa and the Viltrumites, the way that they think is it's only for procreation. It's only for the idea of mating and just expanding their world. So like Anissa's character in the comic books does end up having Mark's child. And
bro, are we spoiling? Like
that's what I was trying not to do.
What are we doing?
What do you fucking mean spoiler? We're like 13 years past the comic book, dude. Like there's no spoiling.
I haven't seen it. Like,
motherfuckers read.
What are you talking about, bro?
See, I was trying to be
like, I have been trying to hold my mouth for like the past like 5 minutes. I'm like, you guys are spoiling all this shit.
Just
right
read
now,
books,
bro.
man. Just read.
What are we doing?
I was trying to be as courteous as I could to you, Brian.
You have a whole audience that are listening to this and that have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You're just spoiling everything for them, bro.
You cannot spoil something that's already out there. The only thing I can spoil is for people that don't want to read shit.
That is not true, bro. Like, let's be easy. Like, let's just take into account a lot of people have not seen this or read the books.
We're about to do this shit to Captain America.
We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it.
We're about to do this shit to Captain America.
Yeah, bro. He's anime only, dude. Chill, dude.
I apologize for my friends that don't know how to read. But yeah, there's some shit that ends up happening in the comics. I do not know if the show is going to go the same way because the show's changed a lot of shit too. So I do not know how they're going to take into consideration all of this stuff.
One of my questions was like, does the animation, is it a cartoon? Can I say cartoon?
Yeah,
Cartoon,
yeah. It's an animated series.
Does that like change a lot of from the source material? Because I mean,
so season 1 had a lot of stuff that should have been in season 2.
Yeah,
Season
they changed a lot of it.
Yeah, like there was incidents that happened in season 1 that didn't happen until like Mark's dad had left already. You know, like the first time he fought Battle Beast, that didn't happen for a fucking while. Like he fought Battle Beast when Nolan was already gone, you know, and shit like that. So like yeah, that ass beating was done by something else, you know, and you know, the stuff with like him and him fighting alongside his dad against the other Viltrumites. Granted, they've kind of toned down.
Yeah,
some
they
of
pulled that down a lot.
Yeah, so some of the violence. You know, this isn't like The Boys where like everyone's getting fucking blown up and shit.
Well, again, that's why I say it's like the dynamic change in the culture change in our society on how we take in media and put in media has changed dramatically. So the idea of this Anissa situation even happening is like there's a big possibility it might not even go this way. Huge fucking
I'm sure it will, but it may be like off panel sort of thing.
Yeah, it's gonna
because like as it is, that incident was also off panel. Like you don't see the grinding or anything.
Yeah, you don't see all the crazy
you
shit.
know, like you just see her like come down, literally like take her pants off, and then like next panel is her like flying
off. So yeah, there's a lot of
like he's just there like and he's just there like naked in the fetal position, and he's just like, oh my god, like that just happened, and like you know the like. Because as it is, like the whole Amber thing in the comic books was a lot more serious for him.
Yep.
You know, like
they changed that dramatically too.
Yeah, the whole like, oh, like you're not making time for me sort of shit. Like that one was more of like in the comic books, she was very, very like white girlish. I mean, she was white in the comic book. You know, she was a blonde haired, blue eyed girl. But like she was very like, oh well, I was just like, oh, you're like never around, like blah blah blah. And in the show, it's very she knows like, okay, you're a superhero, I got it. Like you do stuff all the time, I get it.
Yeah.
And then it finally evolved into like, bro, I don't think you have time the way that you think you have time. And so like to really protect like this. I need to walk away because like, you can't separate.
That was way different from the comic book.
Yeah, I was like, you need to.
Yeah, she was super needy in the series, right?
Yeah, in the comic book, she was super duper needy. Like she broke up with him for very, very selfish reasons.
And Amber in the series is so much more independent and stronger and all that other shit.
But it was a lot more altruistic.
Yeah,
you know, like she was very, very altruistic in her like reasoning. Like while still kind of being selfish, there still was like an ulterior like sense of altruism in the why she took off. And as it is, like there's a big plot line that happens with Ember, you know, and after because like Mark starts becoming a little bit more Viltrumite later on, you know, like you start seeing him like his anger really starts to get the best of him, and he's okay with putting it down on anybody who wants to stand 10 toes in front of him, dude. You want this? You want the smoke? I got fires lit, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, it's very interesting how it differentiates from the comic books to the film or the series on Amazon Prime. I believe they got the timing right on a lot of the stuff and the chronological order of things. It's a lot more tighter, so it's not going to be as long-winded as the series is. But I think they're going to cut a lot of this stuff from the series out too when it gets to like the Viltrumite War. Even when they fight, what's his name? Is it Trask or what's that dude's name? The villain, the main villain, the guy with the T. What's his name? The Thrag, right? Yeah, Thrag. I think they're going to change a lot of that shit later. So
I don't think that they're going to change it. I think they're going to give a lot more story to it because in the comic book, some of it was very rushed. And I'm not going to go at all like into detail, but like there's a lot more back history that you're going to like learn about the Viltrumites.
Yeah,
you already kind of do in episode 3, where Nolan is like, dude, there's only like 50 of us left, like in the whole fucking universe. There's only 50 pureblood like Viltrumites left. Yeah. So like what we're trying to do is no longer conquering. It's now the expansion or the expansion of like our race.
Yeah, they're trying to save the race.
Yeah, we're just trying to save like the Viltrumite race. And yet again, huge plot line later, you know, with all of that, and you know what all that means later, and like the coalition and stuff like that. So, like I said, there's a lot of things that are going to go on. There's a lot of things that you're going to learn. There's a lot of things that you know are going to come to light finally, and yeah, it's going to be one of those that in season 2 or this season we're going to get. Oh yeah, I mean it's basically all preservation.
Yeah, preservation.
And you know we're finally going to get to see a lot more backstory for the Viltrumites, because that's what Conquest is bringing. Conquest isn't just bringing the fact that like you're going to get like one of like the 5 best fights of like the whole fucking series.
Yeah,
like
Conquest
you're going to find out a lot about Mark, the Viltrumites, why the Viltrumites are the way that they are, why they're like so into preservation at the moment, what everything looks like, you know, how Viltrum looks now, things like that. So like there's going to be a lot of back history, you know, with all of that. Then it's coming very soon. But what everyone should be looking forward to, and I honestly don't remember this arc super duper well. I do, but I don't. Is going to be the Invincible War, like when all the clones of Invincible come and just start rampaging, dude. It's coming. It's going to be fun. It's going to be super fucking bloody, dude. Super.
Oh, it's going to be violent. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a crazy one. But yeah, guys, super well worth it. If you guys haven't jumped on it, the Amazon Prime series already released season 3. There are 3 episodes or 4 episodes in already. It's fantastic, guys. Fantastic. If you haven't watched it, it's bloody.
Dude, Reacher's coming in. Reacher season 3 is coming out at the end of the month, dude. On the 20th.
Witcher?
The
new one, right?
Yeah, Reacher season 3.
Reacher, man. Good shit. All right, boys. We're now officially hitting the 9:30 mark, which means we are going to give 30 solid fucking minutes and a little sum if you guys want to the review for Captain America Brave New World. Brave New World drama. Why did I put drama? That's even funnier. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick. I don't want to put drama because it's not drama. We're just talking about review. But yeah, folks, we got to see, well, I did. Who hasn't seen the film yet? All right, so raise your hand, kids. Brian and I are probably the only ones that have seen it. In the comments, anybody that's watching, if you have seen Captain America Brave New World, let us know what's up. Put it in the comment section. Mulder's already jumping in. He's like, I fell asleep. It's trash. Damn, dude, everybody killing, man. But yeah, anybody in the comment section, let us know what you guys thought. Let us know your review. Put a whole thing in there. Let us know what you guys think. Brian, you got to see the film. You actually got to see it, I think, the day before I did, right?
Yeah. So
yeah,
Thursday.
We saw opening night, right? You have your AMC thing.
Yeah.
So, Brian, let me ask you, dude. What did you think about it?
I didn't mind it. Like I said in the chat, I thought that it has its issues. Obviously, you know, you can't get away around that. It's got its issues. Specifically for me, the one thing that I just could not understand why they did was like the last scene, this green screen was just it was really bad. Story wise, I think it could have been better, but then again, once you take into account that it's just been a disaster from day one, you kind of understand, you kind of see it. But with that being said, I just don't understand the hate, the vitriol that it's been receiving online, from scoopers to know-it-alls to I miss those days that we didn't care so much about numbers or scores, and we just went to the movie theaters and just fucking enjoyed movies, man. I miss that. Like, that's been
I miss the culture. Yeah, I definitely miss the movie going culture.
Like, I miss that
10 years ago.
And everyone here is kind of at fault for kind of leaving that aspect of it, but like I kind of miss it. Like after watching the conversation about this movie, I miss that. Like, I miss just being able to go to a Marvel movie and just enjoying it and not caring about certain things, certain aspects that actually at the end of the day mean nothing. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? That's really all that matters. There's some things again in there that I would change. Some things that I did like. I did like Anthony Mackie as Cap. I liked him.
100%.
Can't
Can't
take
deny
anything away from him. Isaiah Bradley
stole the fucking show, dude. I love him,
great.
dude. I almost teared up in the prison scene, man.
Yeah,
like he fucking killed it for me, dude. I love him, man.
It was a great showing from Isaiah Bradley, and I think you even mentioned that you would like to see more of him, like as a
Disney Plus series, man.
Yeah, like as a Disney Plus. So like, there's some things that were good about this this movie that certain people just didn't give it a chance, and it sucks. And that's all I'll say about it. Would I recommend it? I don't know. If you liked, I'll say this: if you liked Falcon and Winter Soldier, I would say I would say go see it. Yeah. If you didn't like it and it didn't hit you, it didn't resonate with you, I would say you could probably wait until this comes out on Disney Plus. That's what I would say.
Yeah, 100%. For me, I thought it was casual, man. It would have been a really good summer movie, like a good throwaway action film. And I kind of feel like that's where Marvel has been lacking in the last several years. They've been pushing so much on the idea of building like a story that they want you to feel is important, but most of them have a lot of no value. This one was just a beat 'em up. Like that's what it felt like. It just felt like a good old fashioned street level Marvel movie. And I think it did well. Was there a lot of stuff that they could throw away? Yes. But then again, you know what this kind of reminded me of? This was an Edward Norton Hulk film without the Hulk, and Anthony Mackie happened to be in the neighborhood.
This is definitely Hulk. This is definitely the Hulk sequel. Like
literally, like
you can't get around that. This is a Hulk sequel.
Like it felt so.
I've been hearing that more and more lately. You know that like
sequel,
they're like, this isn't a Captain America movie. Captain America just happens to be in the hood. You know, like he just happens to be around.
And Muldrick says it really well, which a lot of people are in the same format, which is like, I didn't feel like he's like Captain America. I feel like he's just the Falcon in a Patriot suit. And that's 100% pretty much what the character literally almost is, man.
I'm going to disagree. I think that they made a conscious effort. A lot of people were saying that they didn't make a conscious effort to try to push Sam Mackie or, as
Sam Wilson, right?
I think they did. I just think that
at the end,
I think they did make strides into doing that, and I think they succeeded. Now, whether you liked it or not, that's a different topic. But you can't say that they didn't try to move forward Sam Wilson as Cap. Like I don't buy that at all. They definitely did. You just might not like it.
Like it just makes it. You know what? Like and the problem with it is the fact it's like we said earlier that this is a Hulk sequel without the Hulk. And I just feel like the Falcon deserves to be more in a street level situation. Now, of course, like, you've heard me say this a million times that I do not agree with the way they handled the character in the comic books, right? He becomes Captain America and they instantly just have him fighting racism and hatred and all this other stuff. They were on the right path when they were talking about having the Serpent Society. Like, I think that if they would have done a newer street level kind of daredevilish version of Hydra with the new Baron Zemo from the Falcon series, and then maybe even like reintroduce a new Red Skull, like that would have been a way better entertaining story to have Captain America fighting Hydra again. But the problem with it is you have them fighting like the Red Hulk, which, I was guilty of this. I think Brian Triggs, we were guilty of this too. We were all like, how the fuck is this guy going to fight a Hulk? He's just a dude in a fucking wing costume. Like, I guarantee we all said that sooner or later. But what was meta was at the ending of the film when Anthony Mackie's character says something in that nature where he's like, look, dude, like you could probably kill me in one hit, but let's talk it out. Like them knowing that and them writing it in that way, they knew that it kind of looked silly to have these two fighting off in the first place. Right. So like, I just think like you could tell me if I'm wrong or not, Brian and Triggs. I don't know. You haven't seen the film yet, but you could tell me too. I kind of feel that Giancarlo Esposito's character was only there for disposition. Like he was only initiated for disposition, not the action, not him running around with guns being a secondary villain, not nothing. He was only there to make the story move when they needed to move it, which I think is very boring writing.
I think he saved them. Honestly, I think you mean exposition, but I think that I think that that was a good call, because there's times in his movies where they're trying to get someone else, and I won't spoil it, to give exposition, and it just comes off as boring. It comes off as boring, and it comes off as long. So they needed someone like Giancarlo Esposito to come in and fix that, and I think he did that well. He's only, and it's not, they're not hiding it either. It's like literally he's only in this movie to do that, to give certain parts of this movie some articulation. And this movie is basically, there's nothing left to the imagination here. They walk you by the hand each
for
way
everything
to do this movie. You don't have to think about what's going on. There's conversations and dialogue about everything that goes on in this movie, and a lot of people have a problem with that. Me, I don't necessarily care, as long as it's done correctly. You got the right people to do it. Again, it's a serviceable movie. Now, is it the worst movie in MCU history, as the audience score suggests? Absolutely
not, dude.
Absolutely not, bro. This is not the worst MCU. It's not even close. There's a handful of movies that belong on that to take up that mantle, and it's not this movie. The audience score is somewhere around, the 79, 80, 81, 82 range, which bodes well. It's doing good at doing decent at the box office, being that it is a 4-day weekend. So it's holding. I do anticipate a big drop off next week.
Probably by next week, right?
Which would give all of the naysayers and haters a bunch of ammo to spit out. But you know what? I enjoyed it. I wasn't going in this movie thinking it was going to be a Endgame Avengers level movie, and it wasn't. So I'm not that disappointed. I think that it has some good moments. It's got some bad moments, and again, it might not be for you, or it will be for you.
You know what? But I'm gonna put this out there. I think this is probably one of the best Marvel films in the last couple of years. Like, I think it did very, very solid for itself. I thought it was fun. I thought, of course, like I said, Anthony Mackie, the kid that plays Joaquin, did good. He was fun. He was just as entertaining as any other sidekick character could be, right? Like, he played the typical sidekick character. I thought that was really good. I thought Harrison Ford did a phenomenal job as.
Oh yeah,
he did a phenomenal job. Like, and no disrespect to the actor who used to play Thunderbolt Ross, but he always came off as like very stale, right? A little stale with the character. Even in the Black Widow film, like, he sold it as much as he needed to. But Harrison Ford brought a whole dynamic to Thunderbolt Ross that I had never realized was there as a character. And Chrissy's calling me out for it. She's like, "Oh, but Chris liked it. He'd definitely go see it again." I definitely would. I really, really would. I really feel just alone Harrison Ford's acting and the guy who plays Isaiah Bradley's acting by itself. And then, Anthony Mackie at the end of the film, every time he gets a moment to kind of like to talk, right? To give actual like lines, he always does so well. Like, I think Anthony Mackie's a really good person when it comes to delivering, and like the whole part of him, like stepping into the character of the Captain America brand. Like, he really gets it at the end when he's there next to Joaquin at the end of the film. I don't want to get into it as much, but they have very, very heartfelt moments for him realizing how big of shoes it was for Steve Rogers to be Captain America, which is, it's crazy to see that the character itself is written in a way that the people who judge the film and the character so much agrees with us, where he feels like he's also not good enough to be Captain America. You know what I mean? Like, that's literally what everybody's complaining about in our world, is everybody's like, he's not Cap, he sucks, he's not really Captain America, Steve Rogers is. And it's like, bro, he has a whole monologue where he's like, I'm not Steve. Like, I can't do it. Like, he's doing so much more than I am, and I can't even do it. And I'm like you're listening to him, and you're like, damn, bros, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, Steve chose you, and then later on, you know, a person there is like, well, you were chosen by him for that purpose because you're not him. And they hit all the right marks. That's literally what it is. The thing that killed this movie is just you can tell where all the rewrites and all the stuff were. That's what really makes it a hard sell. Brian, what did you think of the Hulk, the Red Hulk character? Like, I was blown away, dude, with the action
sequences. He looked even better than the Incredible
Green Hulk,
Green Hulk, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, he looks way better than the Hulk, bro. They did an amazing job on just the Red Hulk. I'm not gonna lie. I will agree with a lot of the naysayers. I would have although they advertised him as much as they did, I would have liked a little bit more of him. But I'm not gonna throw the movie away because of that. But the design of the Red Hulk is probably the best that they've done so far. I think I'm gonna say this though. I'll say with that fight, dude. We got to get I don't know if I like the fight. I don't know if
the last one. Or are you talking about? I like the chase, dude. When he's chasing him.
Yeah,
that was pretty dope.
Even then, I thought it was mid.
Yeah.
Did you see that part? You saw the fight or what?
Yeah, I thought it was mid.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I would have. It was okay.
It was mid, dude. Just call a spade a spade, dude.
It was really borderlining my imagination there, like stretching my belief there, because there should be zero reason why Sam walks away walking.
Yeah.
Hey guys, that's a vibranium suit, guys. That's a vibranium suit, guys.
You're asking a lot, and I'm very cynical, and that movie asked a lot of me watching that, because he should have been paralyzed.
What I hated most about that fight, what I really, really hated most about that fight is that it was basically a heart monitor. It would go up, and then it would come right back down, and then go up, and then come right back down. And then go up, then come right back down. Then it would stop for a little while. Then it would go up and come back down. And it did that the whole fucking fight. And then I was like, oh, dude, that was it.
Red Hulk's movement, top notch. That got me geeked. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like him, like you said, the chase scene, like him chasing him, like
that was fucking dope, dude. That was it, but that's because it's literally the best Hulk we've ever had in the films. They literally neutered the Hulk in the last very important films, and we never got anything out of him. And again, why the fuck didn't they bring the Hulk out in this film? Like, what? That dude, that is fucking, dude, that kills me so bad. That kills me so bad. And we talked about
the rights to the Hulk.
Yeah. They got the whole time of those motherfuckers, except for like Universal, but like they can still get away with it. Like, fuck, they made a whole goddamn She-Hulk series. Like,
with the amount of money, with the amount of money, or She-Hulk, that would, like, as much shit as everyone talks about She-Hulk, if they would have used her in this movie, dude. Well, honestly, I might be wrong. This might have just blew the lid off this whole fucking shit. They would have went fucking. The haters would have went crazy if She-Hulk would have showed up. But if you would have did all,
fucking told you.
Because no. You know what? You're right. There's a lot of people that hate it but they could have fixed the ending of She-Hulk with this series. Like, they could have had her come in and do the
right shit. But it's been years though, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's where my head was going when I was just about to make that comment. But I think you're underestimating the amount of hate that show got, and how much hate this movie was already gonna get. I don't think you want to you don't want to fan the flames on this one, bro. Like, you already have a black Captain America, bro. Like,
watch.
Don't push your luck, bro. Like, you're pushing it at that point,
look,
bro.
I can gratuitarily agree that Anthony Mackie did an amazing job. Having a black Captain America is never a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. What I think the biggest problem is that Marvel itself still celebrates Steve Rogers as Captain America in everything else. So you go even Marvel Rivals, where the fuck is Falcon?
True.
If he's Captain America right now, why the fuck is Steve Rogers Captain America in that series?
Well, you have Cap. You have Cap in the game, so you don't necessarily you have Cap in the game, so you don't need Sam. I mean, unless you want to have
because he's Captain America right now.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest problem, and I keep telling people the reason why people don't accept it is because everywhere else is Steve Rogers. That's their biggest issue. Like if they change it and they make it official and they're like, we're not going to go back and reference Steve as Captain America anymore. Maybe during the anniversary of his, legacy, but not as him being Captain America still. They can't do that because it steps on the toes. I mean, everybody got super excited for the fucking rumor that Chris Evans was supposed to come out in this film. And Anthony Mackie had made a comment that he's like, bro, give me a little bit more time as Captain America before you switch me back or whatever. Like it's one of those things that he did an amazing job. And again, like She-Hulk was a shit show because of what they did with the ending of the series. She breaks the fourth wall. They fucked all the villains up. They bring in like a robot person. She goes to Netflix or Disney Plus, the series, and fucking jumps the writers and just a bunch of stupid, unnecessary stuff. And then you have Daredevil falling out of the sky and landing there and then having a fucking barbecue with Hulk and his son. Like they fucked everything up.
Bro.
She could have came in and just saved the fucking day.
Bro. They would have called this the most woke movie of all.
I would have liked it. Fuck all those dumbasses. I would have liked
it. Let's just keep a little bit of sense of reality in this. Like I get it. We're fan casting here and we're trying to make things better, but that would have been an absolute nightmare. You and I both know that shit.
And you know what? You and I talked about this, right? And we talked about how we called it where the scene of something breaking through the White House was supposed to be we talked about it. What did we say? Like it had to be like an explosion or it's something. And I was like, no, it has to be two people because of the angle of something going through it. It looks like something. And it ended up being two people flying through it. And yeah, it goes back to what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. How the fuck did Sam survive that?
Any of that shit?
He should have broke his. He should have broke.
I was trying not to do fucking spoilers, and he says he calls Sam.
I gotta spoil that one. I gotta spoil that. That scene where you see the White House exploding. That is Sam Wilson getting through
smashed,
that shit,
dude.
His vertebrae should have been dust. Dust. Like he should have just been dust. He should not have been able to move after that, bro. Are you kidding me?
War Machine broke his back on like less.
Yeah, right? Well, no, dude, that was me
off on the little fall, dude. Off a little fall, bro. What a bitch, man.
The first fucking landing for Sam Wilson, he hits Mach 1 and flies directly into the floor and lands in a superhero pose. And I look at these guys in the trailer and I was like,
that part I get. It's no
fucking way. There's no way his legs will blow out his ass, dude.
Again, you're asking a lot of me, but that was cool.
Dude.
That was cool.
Me watching the fucking Captain America slime, dude.
Me watching him get pushed through the fucking White House, though.
My favorite one was when they pinball his ass, dude, off the cars.
Outs, dude.
I think my favorite scene is when they pinball his ass off of the cars. They backhand him and he just ding, 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 ding. It just hits every car. I'm like, wait, that's not the way the human body works. How's he bouncing off of this shit? Like, dude, it was.
Thank you. See, Mike understands. Mike gets it. Although I personally would have liked to have seen She-Hulk or Hulk in this movie to give Red Hulk a little bit more time. People would have if she would have shown up, they would have literally vomited on the floor.
Yeah.
They would have vomited on the floor.
Oh, man, I don't know, man.
He's not wrong. That
I understand this. I really do because of what Tatiana or whatever her name is, how she involved herself in the show and the politics, and then how the writer developed themselves into their politics and attacking the fans and doing all this shit. And we all know what happened, but they have to understand how much turmoil that they caused for themselves just by doing that. And that there needs to be, Mike, especially Brett and Corey, you know this, that they need PR to fix that character. Because no matter where you put her next, she's going to get the same slack. She's going to get it no matter where you put her. You might as well put her in something early that sucks. So that way you could save it for something else, dude.
This ain't the project. This movie has already had so many issues.
Rewrites and all that stuff. I agree.
You can't do that. Put her somewhere where she's not as focused on, right? So you could ease her back in the fold, put her in an Avengers situation, put her in a team up, put her in something where her attributes can be heightened and no one can really just focus in on whatever problem they're gonna have with her. Like, there's a way to do that. Not in this movie, though.
This was though the situation. You had a guy with no powers fighting a Hulk, and he's wearing a wingsuit by the United States Army. In fact, the Wakandans just made it better, sort of, because they only made the fucking wings vibranium, not the whole suit. So again, I do not know, and you said it yourself, I do not know how he survived 80% of the shit he was doing against the Red Hulk. Like, when the wings were the only things that were capable. And how did he rip the... If there was vibranium, how did he rip the wings off? Like...
It's magic.
Yeah, fuck it. I can't even ask questions. Okay, so Brian, I got to ask you. Triggs, I can't believe you saw the little TikTok videos of the fight and shit. I can't believe you, bro. Disservice. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, honestly.
Disservice, man.
Bro, dude, what weekend is this weekend?
What?
What weekend? Well, Valentine's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Valentine's Day.
Being a bartender on Valentine's weekend.
I was like, this is the Valentine's date movie. The villain's big and red, bro.
Yeah.
He's got a big heart, right?
Yeah,
he's got
so
a big
my
heart.
legs right now, my God.
The whole movie was about the big red guy's heart, dude. The whole movie. It's a Valentine's Day movie. Okay, Brian, I got to ask. What is your rating of this movie?
Solid 6.5.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I thought you were gonna say.
I'll go to the theater for 6.5. If it was anything lower than a 6, I probably would have just waited.
I'm even saying, if you're like myself, I am casually in the dumb spectrum. Like, I'm in the dummy spectrum. I went in there and I had a great time. I would say it's like a 7, dude.
It's fun. It's fun.
I thought it was fun as fuck, dude.
It's fun.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I even liked. You know what I didn't like? I really didn't like the jet planes getting taken over by like the mind control shit.
Now, see, I like that. The two parts that I liked the most,
but I like the jet scene though. Was
the fighting in the Indian Ocean. I thought that was fucking awesome, and I did like the Hulk chase part.
Yeah, even the Isaiah Bradley fight scene, dude. Like, there was a bunch of parts that were just so fucking cool, man.
It just wasn't cohesive enough.
Yeah, it was. I kind of feel like they should have just focused more on the action and kind of just built like little parts off of it. I wasn't even that taken by like the leader, the guy, the villain or whatever, like how he looked. Everybody put out pictures and he looked like shit. And I was like, oh no, dude, he's kind of greenish and he's got some fucking cool ass like Purple Man vibes going on in the shadows and shit like that. I thought it was pretty good. And the thing is if a lot of people don't know of the reference, the idea of the leader being able to do mind control and using music was that Hydra villain who took over Captain America's brain during the Secret Empire. In the very, very beginning, they go after the Triskelion. They send all these heroes into space. New York gets covered in darkness, and then Captain America becomes the leader of the free world because everybody's under some kind of invasion or chaos, and the president gives him the full power. There is a character, and I forgot his name, but he's the dude that is in Hydra that uses sounds and music to make people get under mind control. I forgot his like Doctor something, but if that's where they get that idea that the leader can do that. So that was very much for Secret Empire, which was a great call. The other change too that I really liked was in the comic books, the Red Hulk is going around fucking everybody up and you don't know his identity, but Thunderbolt Ross is very much in control. Very much. What's up, Mark? Good to see you, my man. Chewing in the house. Chewing in the house. What's up, bro? But I did like the fact that it was kind of like a Manchurian Candidate moment. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, the president has this thing that's going on with him and he has no control of it. Didn't know it was implemented in it, but it was referenced back in the Civil War movie when Thunderbolt Ross is talking about the Sokovian Accords, and he talks about how he was on the 13th hole and he had a heart attack and his heart gave out. And that's literally the reference to him meeting up with the leader, him checking out his heart because it wasn't working anymore and he was going to die. And it was him, you know, putting him on some kind of stuff that was making him, you know, turn evil or go into the Red Hulk and he couldn't control his powers or whatever.
Spoilers.
Well, I mean, that's all in the story. We know he's the Red Hulk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but you know what I thought was very, very cool is the character development of Thunderbolt Ross where he loses his wife. and now he's like isolated by himself. What's up, Chewanu? What's up, Brian?
My man.
My man. And all he cares about, which is just the same way it was in the Edward Norton movie, just like the way it was in the Bana movie, the Eric Bana movie, how much Thunderbolt Ross loves his daughter. Like loves and needs his daughter. I really enjoyed the fuck out of that with his character. Like I really, really did. It would have even been cooler. And this is just throwing like some fucking real long fucking Hail Marys, right? If we would have got an entrance of a She-Hulk character that came in to help to help the Falcon, but be shadowed, and it could have been the Red She-Hulk, which was Betty in the comics. That would have been pretty fucking interesting too. Like, cause you it's like you said, like, you know, who the fuck cares if She-Hulk? That would have been crazy fire or whatever. But what if it was like, because her body shape, right, Triggs? It's like the same as She-Hulk, right? The red one. Yeah, she's like the same thing, but she's just red. So it would have been cool because everybody would be like, oh, fuck, it's She-Hulk. And then, like, when she walks away, you see her, their skin color's red. And it would have been like, oh, fuck. But again, I don't know why they didn't put the Hulk in this. So, my last thing, we understand we all got a rating for it and stuff like that. Brian, where do we go from here? You saw the post-credit scene. You know, the leader had something to say. You know what I mean? Where do you feel like it's going next?
It's going... I think this movie, along with the Thunderbolts, which looks pretty good, and Fantastic Four, I think this is all linked together. So, you know, again, it's not like this movie was for nothing. I think that it serves a purpose. Whether you like the purpose or not, that's for you to call. That's for you to call. But I do think that, you know, moving forward, this was just one of those ground Marvel movies that, you know, tying up some loose ends. We're finally getting to what the fuck are we doing with the whole goddamn celestial in the middle of the fucking ocean type shit.
Good call.
Right? Yeah, we got to address that. So they addressed that in this movie. You know, everyone was bitching about that, so we finally got that. We got to see what Captain America looks like in a conflict. So we got that, you know, we got to see what that looks like. A lot of people like it. So, you know, again, there's something in that. We got the introduction of a Red Hulk. So now we have, everyone was clamoring and asking for that for years, ever since we first saw Thaddeus Ross in the first Iron Man or the first Incredible Hulk. We knew who he was. So we got that. So moving forward, we have all these different characters. And I mean, I don't see Red Hulk going anywhere anytime soon. My only issue is dude, they need to start picking the presidents more correctly, because
dude,
the last president didn't make it. The one that was in Secret Invasions didn't make it. This one, he's locked up. So now who's the president?
Man. The guy from Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier didn't make it.
Yeah, dude, the presidential security in the Marvel universe is fucking abysmal.
It's trash. It's trash.
Yeah, I don't know why Kingpin's rushing for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
The one that makes me
laugh. I honestly trust the Kingpin bodyguards better than I do the fucking Secret Service.
The Secret Service. Yo, the one that's real funny is what was it? It's fuck. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say right now. Oh, Comics Explained, right? No, Comic Historian. No, Explained. That's Rob Jefferson, right?
Yeah, Comics Explained.
He barely made a video a couple days ago that he's literally got to the point where I've told people, like, I don't know how the people in this world can survive, dude. New York gets fucked all the time, dude.
Yo, he's been crashing out recently. Like, I've noticed that a lot of content creators, bro, they're crashing out recently, bro. Like
they can't stand on that no more because it's hard to defend some of this weird shit. It really is hard to defend a lot of it, man.
Like they're going at you know, comments, and they're getting rattled, and it's really weird to see. Like that. I don't know if you guys know who Coy I forgot what his name is, but he does commentary on The Real Rejects, and it's another channel that I watch. He made some comments about about DC, which, you know, if I were him, I would just relax. I mean, he is employed with DC, so he does have some type of a bias there, but yeah, he crashed out a couple days ago too. Like, and it's just it's wild to see. Like, this is a very weird time to be in the content creation space for like.
I mean, even for us, it's been kind of rough, man, because it's been kind of like it was kind of dry for a little bit. And then we barely got Captain America. We get a couple things going on, and it's been rough, man. I mean, but you know, I really like the Rob Jefferson take on it, because he was like, dude, like literally the White House got fucking, you know, demolished, dude. There's a fucking giant human body in the Indian Ocean. You know, a couple of months ago, half of the world disappeared. And then a couple months later, just some giant ass people stole some people in a park. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just constantly shit going on. And now we got the badass fucking trailer for the Thunderbolts. And we got this fucking madman, you know, coming in soon, the Century. And in the fucking trailer, I don't know if you saw the trailer recently, but it does look like the Void's going to be making an appearance.
Yeah, no shit.
That,
like, I witnessed.
Yeah, like, but it looks violent, dude. Like, and it's almost like the whole city of New York's going to be taken into darkness. The video,
I saw this funny ass meme, and they were like, "Bro, imagine surviving the Chitauri attack. Imagine getting blipped out, and then this is how you go out." And like being like folded into a shadow.
Fucking shouldered into the fucking shadow, dude. And you're like, man, I survived all this shit. I just need bread. Like, I just want to go to the store and get bread, dude.
I was getting a sandwich, dude. I was getting milk. Dog.
Yeah, bro. I just want a Philly cheesesteak, dude. Like, I was just walking down the street, dude, and I got turned into mush.
A cigarette, dude.
Yeah, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark, or whatever. Like, what the fuck, dude? Bro. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's fucking wild, man. Again, okay, so Brian, let me ask you, because the rumors are this movie, Captain America, A Brave New World, is supposed to kind of like shoehorn us into a World War Hulk film. How? That's all I want to. I just got one word question.
I don't know. I think that it probably won't.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work. No.
There was nothing in this movie that laid groundwork to that.
Yeah. Triggs, what do you think? How can we take this story? Yeah, I know you haven't seen it, but you fucked around and find out on Fire Stick or wherever you saw those little parts.
Yeah, dude. Trust me, I'll beat out this, dude.
Yeah. How can we go into a World War Hulk from here?
We could go into a World War Hulk with a. So I don't know the ending. I don't like of the movie. I don't know like who gets arrested. I don't know who goes to jail. I don't know what the repercussions are of Red Hulk and like, you know, that whole fight and stuff like that. But from there, I can see an actual an actual team, like an actual team of like Thunderbolts, like the original Thunderbolt team. You know how like the original Thunderbolt team were like literally all just like Hulk powered villains trying to fight the Hulk.
Oh,
so that I could see kind of happening is like a Hulk.
Wasn't that like the Gammas or something like that? Wasn't there a team like that?
Yeah, some shit like that.
Something like that. I remember.
So I could see that they would have to use World War Hulk only by name. That's the only way that they could make a World War Hulk movie is just using it by name. Very much like what we got with Secret Invasion, because that had fucking absolutely nothing to do with
Secret
the original
Invasion.
story.
Fucking horrible reference, but we'll allow it. Horrible reference, but we'll allow it.
I'm only using it for the analogy. You know,
if we never bring up that show ever again, I'm fine.
I'll be okay. Yeah,
I constantly do my best to forget it exists.
Dude, and where's what's her fucking face? Literally the most powerful being in the universe who could just stop any conflict by like being like stop.
There's a high possibility that they'll never show her ever again.
That's that I consider that a fucking certainty.
That's a win-win in my book.
Certainty, dude.
Eddie, are you familiar with that character, dude, from Secret? Did you watch Secret Invasion?
I did not.
Oh, dude, God bless your heart, dude. God
It
bless
wasn't.
your heart. It was that bad,
Listen,
dude.
this is one of those situations where I rode for the show until the season finale, and then the season finale.
And he was
defend it anymore, dude.
It was so bad. It was so bad that I dreaded coming in here to talk about it because I was like, these motherfuckers are going to have a field day.
They're tearing it up, dude. We're tearing it up on Tuesday, man. We didn't have to wait for Sunday, dude. It was bad. It was bad, bad.
I remember that last episode, and he came in and he was like, "Guys, I tried.
I tried
so hard." And we were like, "We fucking told you, bro. We told you it was going to be ass. We told you." And like you were like, "No, dude, I had faith. I had to believe that."
Like, it wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a bad show. It's just they didn't stick.
It just wasn't a good one.
It wasn't a good one either, dude.
It just didn't stick the landing at all. Like, and it wasn't just like not sticking the landing,
or the takeoff, or the delivery.
Like breaking both legs and arms on the
Secret Invasion.
Yeah, dude, this was the final destination point with the gymnastics, and her just like.
Secret Invasion reminds me of those Ring videos where the people walk out of their house and it's been snowing and they slip down the steps, dude. That was Secret Invasion at the takeoff, bro. Like that's what that shit reminds me of all the time.
I now want to go and watch it to see how bad. Like
it's good.
You're gonna see it, and you're gonna message all of us individually, and you're gonna be like, bro,
pour yourself a strong ass drink of alcohol, dude, and check it out, dude. It's super.
I so like it.
Do a lot of bad things or be very productive while you do this, and that way you'll feel like you actually you didn't lose on anything.
Rubber on Netflix is better. It's funny. Yo, I think my take on how this should have ended. Again, I love this part where we get to kind of throw our own 2 cents into it. Doc Green, Bruce Banner should have shown up and helped fight a little bit, I guess. And he could have used the gamma powers that he has to be able to remove gamma. Because remember in the comic books, he ends up going around during the Doc. But when he's doing it, he overloads himself and explodes at the White House. That starts World War Hulk.
The more that I think about it, bro, you can't have anybody save Captain America. No one should save him in his own movie, bro. That would have been fucked up. You needed Captain America to resolve this. You didn't need someone to come in and say for the hot tag, bro. That was not the move. Now that I think about it, although it would have been cool because I think he fucking needed it, but the way that it ended was probably for the best.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely correct. You can't really have another character come and save the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not in his own movie. If this was like an Avengers movie, I get it. In an Avengers movie, I get it. But in a Captain America movie, bro, nah, bro.
But that's also gonna
on his first solo movie too.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like that's gonna really add to the argument that this guy's not Captain America.
He's not it. Yeah, he's not it.
Yeah.
I can see that argument.
But I mean, we can all casually agree that this, other than without having the leader or the Red Hulk situation, it did feel like a Captain America movie. But then since that's so overbearing, it really doesn't even feel like a Captain America film. Is that is that safe to say?
I've also felt. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Eddie.
I felt like even the last Captain America movie was like that.
It's a cheat code, bro. It's a cheat code.
Yeah, you just put his name in the title and run with it. Right?
That wasn't no goddamn Captain America.
That was an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Captain America: Civil War, right?
Yeah, that was an Avengers.
And that was just an Avengers movie, just with extra steps.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it was.
So, but we really haven't had a Captain America movie since Winter Soldier.
And even that, I can give argument that was even kind of
Avenger-esque, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you had Black Widow and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited to see this movie though. Like, I'll go and watch it. If it's a 6.5, I'll go watch it in the theater.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people out there that are saying that it's like completely worthless and it's stupid and all this stuff. And I think those guys are just way out of pocket. And me and Brian casually talked about this earlier. And we were saying, why do we think that people are in this nature? And there was a situation that happened with Anthony Mackie at a convention in Europe where he was kind of cornered into answering a political question. and I feel like he answered it, you know, in a fair manner. But I don't think it's like Brian. I think you said like he's just the delivery on how he delivered it probably didn't come out the right way.
Yeah, I don't think that he thought that much into it. It was kind of an on the spot question. What does Captain America mean to the world or to you or some shit like that? And he just said something off the cuff, and it didn't translate well. I understood what he meant. I understood that he's basically trying to say that Captain America is bigger than just, you know, in name itself. He just didn't articulate that correctly. And the people that wanted to hear something negative in it, they heard it. And so they ran with it. So
and I think that's like ultimately what it was. It was going to be one of those where like the answer had to be exactly what they were like, what they were looking for. Not wanting to hear, or else they were going to piece together the exact narrative,
their own narrative
that they were wanting the whole time.
Yeah, I think it was a loaded question, and the problem with it is, you know, I don't think Anthony Mackie himself really goes out and puts his, you know, his feelings in that nature out in the open like that when it comes to politics. I think he keeps it very professional. I think he keeps it very kind, because he understands that there's so many people that look at him and his character and his acting career and what he stands up for. So I just think it was a loaded question, and they tried to trap him with it, and I think he just got the shit end of the stick. And now you have a bunch of people who run movie reviews channels that are
Anthony Mackie's a racist.
Yeah, they run review channels and stuff like that, and they're pretty educated at understanding movies, but most of them use a lot of like the political driven nature to kind of get under people's skin, or use that as a coy to get them more popular and stuff like that. They kind of take away from the idea of breaking down movies in the way it should, right? There's one of them that I do enjoy, The Critical Drinker. I think he's a funny guy. I think he does do a really good commentary on most films, and he's pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of people that just hate on it too much, and I don't know if he's done it yet, but he's one of those guys in that nature. Me myself, I don't think Anthony Mackie did a bad job. I think if it wasn't for Anthony Mackie, people wouldn't care as much as the Falcon character as they do nowadays. Like, he reinvigorated the popularity of the Falcon character.
As far as I'm concerned, that's not even a debate. He did a good job.
Amazing.
He did a good job, yo. He did a good job. And he's a good actor.
And in the comic books, we do know that Bucky comes Captain America, and so does then the Falcon later, and then Steve Rogers comes back, and it's always this like this trans movement of the shield going to different people and stuff like that. A lot of people in the comic book world believe that Bucky should have got the shield when it first happened. But that's the problem, is that's already been done. And then later on, if you read comic books or actually know shit about comics, you know that Bucky gave it up because he just knew he was never going to be Captain America. And the concept, he literally
he died. So there was
and
that.
then he fucking dies. Yeah. And then Cap comes back and takes the shield. He gives the shield back up. But like, that's the concept. Like, what did you want then? Did you want two stories of the same story? You wanted it to be where Bucky gets the shield, gives it back, and then he gives it to Sam, and then Sam wants to give it back. Like, what do you want from it? Like, you know what I mean? Like just let Sam run it. I think it's a great story. Anthony Mackie as a character, every time he comes out on film, he does a phenomenal fucking job. Name me one Marvel film that Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson has come out in that he sucked in. Like, name me one of them that he did something bad in.
8 Mile.
Which one? 8 Mile is not an Avengers movie.
But this is. But I will say this to give a little bit of pushback. This is different, though. This is not a team up. This isn't. He's front and center, and not only is he front and center, but he's fucking Captain America, dude. So it's like there's gonna be a different spotlight on him.
And we talked about this like 3 weeks ago when we were like, do we really think that Anthony Mackie can carry a role? He's never done it before. I think he did fantastic.
I think he did okay. I think that this is gonna hurt him in that conversation, though.
Well, we got Twisted Metal 2 coming out.
Yeah,
and that was good. That was fun.
It started off good. I'll say that.
Well, it's Twisted Metal. What do we want to get out of this? We're literally gonna get a dude with 2 wheels with his hands.
But it was good.
In the next season.
It was good. It was good. And then some. And I actually enjoyed Samoa Joe in this shit. But like, it just derails after like episode 3 or 4, and it just never got back on track. It was weird.
Yeah, it's twisted metal. We don't really look for Grammys for this. Michael Betancourt says the issue Sam has as a character is that he becomes Cap and he's stuck fixing all the shit that Steve and Bucky left behind. And it sounds like that's what this movie is. Sam's having to pick up the pieces and clean up the mess in his way. I don't think so. Like, I'm going to have to disagree because this movie kind of sits on its own. It's literally more about Thunderbolt Ross than it is about Captain America. Like, I don't see there literally. I mean, Brian, you're going to have to correct me on this if I didn't catch it, but I don't think there was really anybody that wasn't agreeing that he was Captain America. Everybody loved him as Captain America. I think that's everybody's buying him drinks. Everybody's high fiving him. What's up, Cap? What's up, motherfucker? What's up, boy?
In the MCU, yeah, they all.
Yeah, everybody is.
Yeah.
But like, do you think he's having to fix the things that Steve and Bucky left behind? Not really.
I didn't get that in the movie. Again, I kind of lean towards what you're saying. I think that everyone has kind of accepted the transition as smoothly as possible, and everyone's cool with it. He got a lot of this guy. He's got a lot of pull as Cap. So he's got that in his back pocket. If he was left, if there was a bad taste in people's mouth about Steve or Bucky, or they would look at him with a little bit of disdain for picking up that shield. Everyone kind of gives him the rite of passage in this movie.
Yeah, because I was gonna say if he was back in Louisiana and the fucking Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show, like they wouldn't even give him a loan, motherfucker. He didn't have to pay for anything.
They treat him a lot better in this movie than they did in that show. I tell you that much. Bro.
Yeah, dude, that fucking freaked me out. I was like, bro, and I didn't even know what it was.
Bothering you?
Yeah, they fucking treated him like shit in that story, and I was like, bro. He still saved the world, man. He may not have the shield, but goddamn, he was there in the battle. God, give this guy some break, dude. But yeah, like they treated him super well in this story, and I thought it was really good. Muldrick says Mackie is the right guy to take the role. They just didn't give him a good enough story for the line.
I agree.
I agree. I 100% agree. Even like what we talked about earlier is like it was like an offset Captain America or Hulk film with a Captain America vibe. I just feel like if they would have just kept it more internal street, maybe have him fight another tactical team of some kind of like enhanced individuals, not a Hulk, bro. Like not a Hulk. The Hulk doesn't make sense.
Seth Rollins was supposed to be in this movie. Like they actually wrote him in this movie.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, and they axed his ass, and I think that's who they got to replace Giancarlo Esposito
character, right?
Character, yeah.
Yeah. So how do you like? Okay, so again, I really enjoyed. Eddie, again, I know you haven't seen the film, and we're not going to try to do any spoilers. We're just trying to get off like on the idea of telling you like where it's got its good points. I did like the meta breaking situations. Again, like this is what audiences were saying before this movie ever came out. One, of course, was how does the Hulk or how does Falcon fight against the Hulk when he doesn't have any powers, right? And the other one was the Falcon can never be Captain America. Like, how does he think he's going to be Captain America? And again, in the film, Sam Wilson acknowledges these things. He acknowledges the fact that he's there saying to another character, I'm not going to tell you who it is. It's a reveal. And he's like, I there's no way that I could fill those shoes. And of course they have a really good dialogue. Everything is set up. And then later on, when the Hulk is fighting with Sam Wilson, he makes a comment that's like, dude, you can kill me like in one hit. Can we just like chill or whatever? Like he is acknowledging what the audience, like what we were thinking. And the one thing that came to mind that was very important is something that we talked about in previous shows is like, did he end up taking a secret serum or super serum or whatever? And he acknowledges that too. Like, I thought that was super spectacular on those things. Brian, what is your take on when he was doing all that meta commentary? Like, did you feel it? Like, you were like, damn, like, it's like,
it was funny. It was funny. It was funny. And it was true. And I think these are the things that we were kind of questioning, during the show. Like he should have probably taken it during the show. Now, if he had taken it, that would kind of alleviate some of the worries about the fighting with the Red Hulk. I mean, that would
and it would have been a huge shift from like what he was in the comics.
In the comics, I get it. But since he stood on that, he didn't. It is what it is.
I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was pretty cool that it was such a meta commentary for the writers and the people in the show to be listening to the stuff that the fans were saying and trying to fix the things that they kind of like needed to acknowledge, right?
Yes.
I mean, compared to the way like She-Hulk did it, like we were talking about, like that's two different variations of approach. And I think the way they handled this one was a lot better. I thought the way they handled this one was a lot better.
It was again. It made me laugh. It made me pop a little bit. So it was cool.
It was cool. So yeah, guys. Again, really enjoyed the film. 7 out of 10 for me. Brian gave it a 6.5. If you're out there, you want to see just a good old fashioned beat 'em up film, not something that you have to really think about or anything like that. Definitely worth the watch, I think, in my opinion. Is it a great Marvel film? I don't think it's like going to be up there as like a top 10, but it's not bottom 5 or whatever is people are claiming it to be. I think it ended up being like the #1 ranked lowest movie. Did you see that too?
Yeah, no, I said that. It's
dude, that's ridiculous, man.
It's ranked as the worst. It's got the worst rating. Let's say this. It's got the worst score of any Marvel movie of all time.
That is ridiculous.
I can think of like 5 other Marvel movies that can probably take that place.
Bro, Thor 4, dude. I'll tell people I'll die on that fucking thing. Thor 4 was fucking trash to me, man.
Thor
They could
3.
fucking, yeah, you can put that over your leg and spank the shit out of it all week. I wouldn't give a fuck, man. But do the old yeller to that motherfucker.
Thor movie.
Oh, dude, yeah, Dark
World.
Dark World. Yeah, that wasn't a great movie either, man. Yeah, just straight. Like, I don't think it was that bad of a film. But yeah. Are you guys gonna go check it out? Let us know in the comment section. If you have already seen it, let us know. John, my man from Corpus Christi, already saw it. I saw him on Facebook. He posted it up. Really enjoyed it. He said he enjoyed it also. Kind of gave him a nice vibe that the Marvel Universe is going to be back on track soon. So where do we go from here with the Marvel Universe? Where is the next? We got the Thunderbolts coming out. Is that going to be the next film already?
Yes.
And then after that, next year, I believe we're getting the Fantastic Four.
That's this year.
Oh, it's this year.
Oh, wow. Shit. That's crazy. So which one out of those two are you guys most excited for?
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic.
Although I am looking for the Thunderbolts, but it's Fantastic Four. I gotta see what they do with that fucking movie, dude.
Yeah,
that's gotta be set like out of that universe, right? Like that's gotta be a different universe. Like I've seen some of the trailer, but not all of it.
That's you would have to think so.
Eddie, are you a comic book guy? Like, do you know about like the Secret Wars? Like,
I know a little bit. You know, I do a lot of like deep diving. Like
nice.
So yeah,
and I asked you this earlier in the sense of wrestling, but I'll ask you this in the sense of comic books, and this goes throughout whatever comic book you want. What is your most?
No, he's gonna put you on the spot.
Iconic, huh? What, Brian? What?
I say, Eddie, get ready. He's gonna put you on the spot, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not too crazy. Everybody's got it, and it doesn't matter if it's a big event or not, or a big arc or whatever. What is the most iconic thing you remember from the comic books that like stuck with you your whole life? Like maybe it's a panel, maybe it's an arc, like a whole comic book arc. Maybe it's a splash page of something like a big picture, like one of these or whatnot. Like,
yeah, you know, I didn't do a lot of comic reading as a kid or even as an adult. I was very big into like animated series.
Oh, which one? It can be series 2, dude.
Batman, bro. The Batman
the animated series.
The freaking Mask of the Phantasm. That movie sticks out to me so much. I loved that one. Like
Mask of the Phantasm was a fucking.
I remember going to the movies for that. I remember going to the movies.
Yeah.
Dang, Brian, you got to see it in theaters, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That is fucking legit, man.
Like, I have that on VHS, man, and like I used to watch that shit to that tape pop, dude. Like that, and even just like the movie box, like the graphic looked sick.
Yeah, the fucking the helmet or the face mask and it like trickled down. Dude, Mask of the Phantasm. See, that's what I love. Universal language, baby. Universal language. All right, guys, we got like 5 minutes. It's gonna be 10:30. We're already gonna call it a night. Eddie, let us know where we can find you. Let us know your social media. Let us know all that good stuff.
I'll plug the Combat Cult. I am on Combat Cult Wrestling on Instagram and Facebook. And Combat Cult Fight on Twitter.
There we go.
Page, you know, like and follow us. We like I said, we're gonna get into a little bit more of our reels and stuff like that. Trying to get some more content out there. Some of our YouTube videos. We're gonna really start pushing the content, like I had said. here in the next couple of weeks.
Excellent, man. Yeah, guys. So if you guys can, go give the page a follow, Combat Cult. And also, if I'm not mistaken, right here on the front of the page, you can click here, and this will give you the opportunity to go to the webpage, Eventbrite, so that you can purchase your tickets and you can check out the event that's going to be coming up. Also, down here, I saw that we got a sponsor, a wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
so you can hit us up. You'll get to sponsor a wrestler. You'll get some of our VIP treatment. You'll get a meet and greet with the sponsored wrestler. 100% of those proceeds are going straight to the wrestler. We don't touch any of that money. Like I said, it's the biggest thing is getting our wrestlers paid. They put their bodies and their minds through a hell of a torment, and we want them to be compensated fairly.
That'd be awesome, man. That'd be awesome. So, guys, if you want to look it up, check out the page, Combat Cult, sponsor a wrestler. The match is coming up March 2nd. Eddie, I want to say thank you very much for coming on the show, man. You did fantastic. I don't know if you've ever done a 2.5 hour show before, but you fucking did amazing. Happy to be your podcasting virgin bump of 2.5 hour show. I know it's not like something that anybody ever looks excited for, but you did amazing, brother. You did fantastic. Man. I want to say thank you for jumping on. We appreciate you. Triggs, Brian, I love you, boys. I love you guys, man. You know what's up. To everybody out there, guys, don't forget, during the week, if you have anything you want us to check out, a series, an event, a television show, some Amazon Prime, or if you have some information. What's up?
Dragon Ball.
Yeah, most def. You do Solo Leveling. I don't know if anybody out there is watching Solo Leveling, but motherfucker, like, oh man, that is an anime of animes right now. Look at Triggs. Triggs out there. I already got him intrigued. Look, he's got his hairs all fucking out of Twitch end, man.
Dude,
Triggs, are you watching Solo Leveling? You better be. Oh man, you better be. It's so good. Solo Leveling. Brian.
Sir.
Still haven't seen Arcane yet. Still haven't seen Arcane yet.
Dude, that ship has sailed. It's not gonna happen. I do want to take this time though, Eddie. I want to say that I have seen some televised matches, and you guys put on a great production. I just wanted to tip my hat to you. I don't think I've ever actually got a chance to say that to you personally. You guys are doing a great job. You and D, I've heard D on commentary. That's how I saw, the clips and everything like that. So you guys are doing your thing. And I'm proud of you guys out there, man. You guys are killing it, man.
And now they're bringing Crispy in, dude.
Absolutely.
It's just gonna get better, man. It's just gonna get better.
Absolutely.
I'm a crazy dude, man. It's gonna get legit. It's gonna get legit. And we'll probably do Moldrick too, man. We'll probably bring him in. It's gonna be a crazy group of people talking. Eddie, like I said, I appreciate you. Brian, Triggs, I'm so grateful that you guys got the opportunity to be off work tonight. I know you guys are busy cats. I love you guys. To everybody out there in the Average Boys world, we appreciate every one of you. Thank you to all our extraordinary listeners. Guys, don't forget to be safe out there. Be courteous to each other. Be kind. I know it's a crazy time, but some love and some kindness will go a long way. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys so much for joining the podcast today and being in the comment section. We appreciate every one of you. See you guys again here next Sunday, 8 p.m. Laters, everybody. Peace.